You think short-term. Think reactive. Think emotional. Think immediate. Think surface level. Think obvious. Think simple. Think linear. This thinking is limiting your success, limiting your results, limiting your achievement, limiting your power, limiting your future, limiting your impact, limiting your control, limiting your mastery. That is the key. Short-term thinking creates short-term results. Reactive thinking creates reactive outcomes. Emotional thinking creates emotional decisions. Immediate thinking creates immediate problems. Surface-level thinking creates surface-level success. But strategic thinking creates strategic advantage. Long-term thinking creates long-term success. Multi-step thinking creates multi-level results. Consequence thinking creates controlled outcomes. Chess master thinking creates life master results. This audiobook teaches strategic intelligence, the psychology of long-term thinking, the neuroscience of pattern recognition, the frameworks of multi-step planning, the systems of consequence prediction, the methods of strategic decision-making. Stop thinking one move ahead reactively. Start thinking 10 moves ahead strategically. Stop planning for today only. Start planning for decades systematically. Strategic mind, strategic decisions, strategic life, strategic success. Beginning now. Chapter 1. You think short-term. Recognize strategic blindness. You think short-term. Think one move ahead. Think today only. Think this week maximum. Think this month maybe. Think immediate. Think reactive. Think present-focused. Think now-oriented. Never seeing beyond immediate horizon. Never planning past current moment. Never considering future consequences. Never thinking strategically. Never planning systematically. Never seeing patterns. Never predicting outcomes. This short-term thinking is limiting everything. Limiting your success. Limiting your results. Limiting your achievement. Limiting your power. Limiting your future. Limiting your impact. Limiting your control. Limiting your mastery. Limiting your potential. Most people think this way. Think short-term constantly. Think reactively perpetually. Think immediately always. Think obviously continuously. Never strategically. Never long-term. Never systematically. Never deeply. This creates predictable failures. Creates recurring problems. Creates repeated mistakes. Creates consistent limitations. Creates permanent mediocrity. You solve today's problem. Create tomorrow's crisis. You choose immediate pleasure. Create future pain. You pursue quick win. Create long-term loss. You optimize for now. Create future disaster. You react to urgent. Ignore important. You handle symptoms. Miss root causes. You see surface. Miss patterns. You think tactically. Miss strategically. This is strategic blindness. Is short-term trap. Is reactive prison. Is immediate limitation. Is tactical curse. Consider strategic blindness specifically. Consider how it operates. Consider what it prevents. Consider what it costs. Consider how it destroys. Strategic blindness is inability to see beyond immediate. Inability to see consequences. Inability to recognize patterns. Inability to plan sequences. Inability to think systemically. Inability to predict outcomes. Inability to consider alternatives. Inability to imagine futures. You see only now, only today, only this moment, only this situation, only this problem, only this choice. Never seeing connections, never seeing patterns, never seeing consequences, never seeing sequences, never seeing systems, never seeing futures. This blindness costs everything. Costs opportunities, costs success, costs wealth, costs relationships, costs health, costs future. Example, career decision. Short-term thinking. This job pays $5,000 more annually. Take it. Strategic thinking. This job pays more now, but develops no skills, offers no growth, leads nowhere. Other job pays less now, but develops rare skills, offers advancement path, leads to executive position. 5 years. First job, still same salary. Second job, doubled salary. 10 years. First job obsolete. Second job, leading company. Short-term thinking sees immediate salary. Strategic thinking sees career trajectory. Short-term gains $5,000 now. Strategic gains $100,000 later. Strategic blindness costs $95,000. Plus growth, plus opportunity, plus future, plus mastery. Short-term thinking creates short-term results. Strategic thinking creates lasting success. Think strategically or remain limited forever. Chess masters think differently. Think strategically always. Think long-term constantly. Think systematically perpetually. Think deeply continuously. See entire board, not single piece. See whole game, not single move. See all possibilities, not obvious option. See consequences, not just actions. See patterns, not isolated events. See sequences, not single steps. See systems, not individual elements. This strategic vision creates mastery, creates championship, creates victory, creates success. Grandmaster doesn't think, what piece should I move? Grandmaster thinks, what position do I want in 10 moves? What sequence gets me there? What will opponent respond? What patterns favor my plan? What consequences follow each option? What systems dynamics operate? What scenarios might unfold? This thinking creates strategic advantage, creates positional superiority, creates tactical opportunities, creates inevitable victory. Same thinking applies to life, to career, to business, to relationships, to health, to wealth, to everything. Strategic thinking creates strategic advantage, creates inevitable success, creates mastered life. Recognition of short-term bias is first step, is essential step, is foundational step, is transformation beginning. Cannot change what you don't see, cannot improve what you don't recognize, cannot master what you don't acknowledge. Must recognize short-term thinking completely. Must see strategic blindness honestly. Must acknowledge reactive patterns brutally. Recognition exercise for this week. Track your decisions daily. Every decision made, every choice taken, every option selected, every path chosen. Document each decision. What was decision? What options existed? What did you choose? Why did you choose it? What time frame did you consider? Hours? Days? Weeks? Months? Years? Decades? What consequences did you predict? Immediate only? Short term? Long term? What patterns did you recognize? Any patterns? What sequences did you plan? Single move? Multiple moves? What scenarios did you consider? One future? Multiple futures? This tracking reveals thinking patterns, reveals short-term bias, reveals strategic blindness, reveals reactive habits, reveals tactical limitations. Most people discover shocking truth. Discovered 90% of decisions consider only immediate. Only today. Only this week maximum. Almost zero decisions consider months ahead. Essentially zero decisions consider years ahead. Absolutely zero decisions consider decades ahead. Complete short-term bias. Total strategic blindness. Absolute reactive thinking. Common short-term traps demonstrate blindness. Demonstrate clearly. Demonstrate costly. Demonstrate devastatingly. Career trap. Choosing immediate salary over long-term growth. Immediate thinking. Job A pays $80,000. Job B pays $70,000. Choose A. Strategic thinking. Job A pays more now, but develops no skills, dead-end position, no advancement, same salary in 5 years. Job B pays less now, but develops rare skills, clear advancement path, strong network building, $150,000 in 5 years. Short-term gains $10,000 now. Strategic gains $80,000 later. Plus skills, plus network, plus trajectory, plus future. Relationship trap. Choosing immediate comfort over long-term compatibility. Immediate thinking. This person is fun now, feels good today, enjoy being together currently. Continue relationship. Strategic thinking, fun now but incompatible values, different life goals, poor conflict resolution, unhealthy patterns. Feels good today, creates misery later. Exit now costs comfort. Stay costs years plus divorce plus damage. Short-term preserves comfort now. Strategic prevents disaster later. Plus time, plus energy, plus peace, plus dignity. Financial trap. Choosing immediate spending over compound wealth. Immediate thinking. I want this purchase now. I have money now. Buy now. Strategic thinking. $5,000 spent now is gone. $5,000 invested now becomes $10,000 in 7 years, $20,000 in 14 years, $40,000 in 21 years, $80,000 in 28 years. One purchase today costs $80,000 in retirement. 10 such purchases cost $800,000 in retirement. Immediate gratification costs future security. Short-term enjoys purchase now. Strategic builds wealth later. Plus security. Plus freedom. Plus options. Plus power. Health trap. Choosing immediate pleasure over future wellness. Immediate thinking. This tastes good now. Feels good now. Enjoy now. Strategic thinking. Tastes good now. Creates disease later. Feels good now. Creates pain later. Enjoy now. Suffer later. Cigarettes feel good now. Cancer in 20 years. Junk food tastes good now. Diabetes in 15 years. Sedentary feels comfortable now. Weakness in 10 years. Short-term enjoys pleasure now. Strategic preserves health later. Plus energy. Plus vitality. Plus longevity. Plus quality of life. These traps are everywhere. Are constant. Are costly. Are devastating. Are avoidable. Through strategic thinking. Through long-term focus. Through consequence prediction. Through pattern recognition. Through systematic planning. After tracking decisions, 1 week, analyze patterns completely. What percentage considered only immediate? Only today? Only this week? What percentage considered months ahead? Years ahead? Decades ahead? What consequences did you predict? First order only? Second order? Third order? What patterns did you recognize? Any patterns? None? What sequences did you plan? Single moves? Multiple moves? What scenarios did you develop? One future? Multiple futures? This analysis reveals truth, reveals short-term bias, reveals strategic blindness, reveals reactive thinking, reveals tactical limitation. This truth is uncomfortable, is painful, is humbling, is necessary, is transformative, cannot change without seeing, cannot improve without acknowledging, cannot master without accepting. Accept your short-term bias. Accept your strategic blindness. Accept your reactive thinking. Accept completely. Accept honestly. Accept transformatively. This acceptance is power, is foundation, is beginning, is transformation start. From acceptance comes commitment. From commitment comes learning. From learning comes practice. From practice comes mastery. From mastery comes strategic intelligence. From strategic intelligence comes life success. Short-term thinking creates short-term results. Strategic thinking creates lasting success. Think strategically or remain limited forever. You understand now that short-term thinking limits everything through immediate focus. You understand that strategic blindness prevents seeing consequences through reactive habits. You understand that recognition is essential through honest tracking and analysis. Stop thinking only about today, immediately. Start considering long-term consequences systematically. Stop choosing immediate gratification always. Start planning for future outcomes deliberately. Stop remaining blind to patterns constantly. Start recognizing recurring structures consciously. Track every decision this week completely. Document time frame considered honestly. Note consequences predicted accurately. Identify patterns recognized truthfully. Analyze results brutally after 7 days. Calculate percentage of short-term decisions. Recognize your strategic blindness completely. Accept your reactive thinking honestly. This recognition is power. This acknowledgement is foundation. This acceptance is transformation beginning. Your strategic intelligence awaits recognition. Your long-term thinking awaits acknowledgement. Your mastery awaits acceptance. Recognize blindness now. Accept limitations. Transform thinking through recognition starting today. You recognize blindness now. Next, you must understand intelligence. Chapter 2. Understand strategic intelligence, the chess master mindset. Strategic intelligence is specific cognitive capability, specific mental skill, specific thinking ability, specific intellectual capacity, specific brain function, not general intelligence, not IQ score, not academic achievement, not book learning, not factual knowledge. Strategic intelligence, ability to see patterns invisible to others, ability to predict consequences others miss, ability to plan sequences others can't conceive, ability to recognize systems others don't notice, ability to think probabilistically, not in certainties, ability to consider multiple scenarios simultaneously, ability to reason about long time frames, ability to connect seemingly unrelated elements. This intelligence is learnable, is trainable, is developable, is masterable, is buildable through systematic practice, through deliberate training, through consistent application, through permanent commitment, not innate talent, not genetic gift, not fixed ability, not unchangeable capacity, learnable skill, trainable capability, developable intelligence, masterable thinking, through practice, through dedication, through commitment, through persistence, through systematic development. Chess masters demonstrate strategic intelligence powerfully, demonstrate clearly, demonstrate measurably, demonstrate teachably, demonstrate transferably. Grandmaster sees 15 to 20 moves ahead, sees entire sequences, sees branching possibilities, sees opponent responses, sees consequences cascading, sees patterns emerging, sees positions developing, not through memorization, through pattern recognition, through systematic thinking, through strategic intelligence. Grandmaster recognizes thousands of board patterns instantly, recognizes pawn structures signaling strategic plans, recognizes piece configurations indicating tactical opportunities, recognizes position types determining correct strategy, recognizes in-game patterns guaranteeing results. This recognition is learned, is developed, is trained, is practiced, is mastered through thousands of games, through deliberate study, through systematic analysis, through pattern exposure, through conscious abstraction. Grandmaster evaluates multiple possibilities simultaneously, evaluates candidate moves, evaluates opponent responses, evaluates resulting positions, evaluates strategic merit, evaluates tactical soundness, all simultaneously, all quickly, all accurately, not through calculation only, through pattern recognition, through strategic frameworks, through developed intelligence. Grandmaster predicts opponent responses accurately, predicts likely moves, predicts strategic plans, predicts tactical attempts, predicts psychological reactions, predicts time pressure behavior. This prediction uses opponent pattern recognition, psychological understanding, strategic principles, tactical patterns, probability assessment. Not certainty, probability, not guaranteed, likely, not absolute, reasonable. Strategic intelligence thinks probabilistically. Grandmaster plans contingencies for various scenarios. Plans if opponent plays A, plans if opponent plays B, plans if opponent plays C, develops strategy for each, prepares response for each, identifies signals distinguishing scenarios, maintains flexibility adapting, This scenario planning creates preparedness, creates adaptability, creates strategic advantage, creates competitive edge, creates mastery. All this is not genius, not exceptional IQ, not natural talent, not genetic gift. Is trained pattern recognition, is developed consequence prediction, is practiced scenario planning, is cultivated systems thinking, is disciplined long-term focus. Through thousands of hours, through deliberate practice, through systematic training, through committed development, through permanent dedication. Strategic intelligence sees what others miss. Pattern thinking predicts what others don't. Develop intelligence or remain blind. Strategic intelligence has components, has elements, has capabilities, has skills, has functions, trainable components, developable elements, masterable capabilities. Component 1, pattern recognition. Seeing recurring structures across different domains. Seeing similarities between dissimilar situations. Seeing cycles and rhythms. Seeing trends before the obvious. Seeing signals and noise. This recognition connects past to present, present to future, one domain to another, surface to depth, parts to whole. Enables prediction, enables anticipation, enables preparation, enables strategic advantage. Component 2, consequence prediction. Forecasting action outcomes accurately. Seeing first-order effects immediately. Seeing second-order effects subsequently. Seeing third-order effects eventually. Seeing cascades completely. Seeing unintended consequences. Seeing system adjustments. This prediction prevents disasters, prevents mistakes, prevents regrets, enables better decisions, enables strategic choices, enables optimal outcomes. Component 3, sequence planning. Planning multiple connected steps. Planning contingent moves. Planning if-then scenarios. Planning response sequences. Planning multi-level strategies. This planning creates coordinated actions, progressive advancement, strategic positioning, inevitable outcomes, competitive dominance. Component 4, systems thinking. Understanding interconnected elements. Understanding feedback loops. Understanding delays. Understanding dynamics. Understanding emergence. Understanding unintended consequences. This understanding prevents intervening blindly, solving symptoms not causes, creating worse problems, missing leverage points, ignoring dynamics. Component 5, probabilistic reasoning. Thinking in likelihoods, not certainties. Thinking in probabilities, not absolutes. Thinking in expected values, not guaranteed outcomes. Thinking in ranges, not points. Thinking in distributions, not single numbers. This reasoning creates accurate predictions, realistic expectations, better decisions, risk management, strategic advantage. Component 6, temporal thinking. Considering different time horizons simultaneously. Considering immediate effects. Considering short-term consequences. Considering medium-term outcomes. Considering long-term results. Considering permanent impacts. This temporal thinking prevents short-term bias, immediate gratification, reactive decisions, strategic blindness, future regret. Component 7, counterfactual reasoning. Imagining alternative histories. Imagining what-if scenarios. Imagining different choices. Imagining alternative outcomes. Imagining parallel paths. This reasoning enables learning from mistakes, improving decisions, recognizing patterns, understanding causation, developing wisdom. These 7 components combine synergistically, combine multiplicatively, combine powerfully, combine transformatively, creating strategic intelligence, creating chess master thinking, creating life master capability. All components are trainable, are developable, are masterable, are buildable through systematic practice, through deliberate training, through consistent application, through permanent commitment, through daily dedication. Not overnight, not quickly, not easily, but certainly but reliably, but powerfully, but permanently, through months, through years, through decades, through lifetime of practice, of training, of development, of mastery, of dedication. Real-world strategic intelligence demonstrates transferability, demonstrates applicability, demonstrates power, demonstrates results, demonstrates mastery. Business leader sees market pattern before competitors, recognizes technology adoption curve, recognizes competitive dynamics, recognizes customer behavior patterns, recognizes economic cycles, sees pattern emerging, sees trend developing, sees shift coming, before obvious, before competitors, before analysts, before market. This pattern recognition creates strategic advantage, creates first-mover advantage, creates market positioning, creates competitive dominance, creates business success. Business leader predicts technology shift consequences, predicts first-order effects on products, predicts second-order effects on business models, predicts third-order effects on industries, predicts fourth-order effects on economy, predicts fifth-order effects on society, sees cascade, sees ripples, sees transformation before others. This prediction enables preparation, enables positioning, enables strategy, enables advantage, enables success. Business leader plans company positioning for future state. Plans not for today. Plans for 5 years ahead. Plans for 10 years ahead. Plans sequence of moves. Plans product evolution. Plans market expansion. Plans capability building. Plans talent development. Plans strategic partnerships. All coordinated. All sequential. All building toward vision. Toward future state. Toward strategic position. Toward competitive dominance. Toward market leadership. This planning creates sustainable advantage. Business leader understands ecosystem dynamics, understands suppliers, understands customers, understands competitors, understands regulators, understands complementors, understands all relationships, all interdependencies, all feedback loops, all dynamics. This system's understanding prevents unintended consequences, strategic mistakes, competitive vulnerabilities, regulatory problems, ecosystem disruption, creates strategic resilience, competitive advantage, sustainable success, ecosystem leadership, industry influence. Business leader reasons probabilistically about outcomes, estimates success probability, estimates competition probability, estimates adoption probability, estimates regulation probability, estimates disruption probability, all probabilistically, all honestly, all accurately, makes decisions using probability assessments, expected value calculations, risk-return analysis, portfolio thinking, scenario weighting. This probabilistic reasoning creates better decisions, managed risks, optimal allocation, strategic advantage, business success. Strategic intelligence is trainable, is developable, is masterable, is buildable, not through reading only, not through understanding only, not through knowing only, through practicing, through training, through applying, through developing, through committing, daily practice, systematic training, deliberate application, progressive development, permanent commitment, starting with recognition, starting with understanding, starting with components, starting with frameworks, starting with practice, then building, then developing, then mastering, then integrating, then embodying, until strategic intelligence is automatic, is natural, is integrated, is permanent, is you, through practice, through dedication, through commitment, through persistence, through time, months of practice, years of development, decades of mastery, lifetime of growth, creating strategic intelligence, creating chess master thinking, creating life master capability, creating decision-making excellence, creating strategic advantage, creating inevitable success. Strategic intelligence sees what others miss. Pattern thinking predicts what others don't. Develop intelligence or remain blind. You understand now that strategic intelligence is specific capability through defined components. You understand that chess masters demonstrate this intelligence through observable patterns. You understand that intelligence is trainable through systematic practice. Stop believing strategic thinking is innate talent only. Start recognizing strategic intelligence is learnable skill. Stop thinking you cannot develop this capability. Start committing to systematic intelligence building. Stop remaining limited by current thinking. Start developing strategic intelligence deliberately. Study the 7 components starting today. Pattern recognition, consequence prediction, sequence planning, systems thinking, probabilistic reasoning, temporal thinking, counterfactual reasoning. Understand each component thoroughly. Recognize each in chess examples. Identify each in business examples. Begin developing each systematically. This understanding is foundation. This recognition is beginning. This commitment is transformation start. Your intelligence awaits development. Your capability awaits training. Your mastery awaits practice. Understand intelligence now. Recognize components. Develop systematically through commitment starting today. You understand intelligence now. Next, you must recognize patterns. Chapter 3. Recognize patterns everywhere. See what others miss. Pattern recognition is foundational strategic skill, is essential capability, is core intelligence, is primary ability, is fundamental competence, ability to see repeating structures across different contexts, ability to recognize similarities between dissimilar situations, ability to identify cycles and rhythms, ability to spot trends before obvious, ability to detect signals and noise, ability to connect seemingly unrelated events, ability to abstract underlying principles, ability to predict pattern continuation. This ability creates strategic advantage, creates predictive power, creates anticipation capability, creates preparation opportunity, creates competitive edge, creates decision superiority, creates inevitable success. Most people see events as isolated incidents, see situations as unique occurrences, see problems as independent challenges, see opportunities as random luck, see outcomes as unpredictable results, never seeing patterns, never recognizing repetition, never connecting events, never abstracting principles, never predicting continuation. Strategic thinkers see differently, see patterns connecting events, see structures repeating, see cycles continuing, see rhythms persisting, see trends developing. This pattern vision creates power, creates prediction, creates preparation, creates strategic advantage, creates mastery. Historical patterns repeat constantly, repeat reliably, repeat predictably, repeat inevitably, repeat universally. Economic cycles repeat. Boom phase, expansion, optimism, investment, growth, employment, confidence. Bubble phase, excess, speculation, overvaluation, euphoria, unsustainable growth, unrealistic expectations. Bust phase, contraction, panic, losses, unemployment, pessimism, fear. Recovery phase, stabilization, cautious optimism, gradual growth, rebuilding, renewed confidence. Then boom again. Cycle repeats. Has repeated for centuries. Will repeat for centuries more. Understanding this pattern enables buying during bust when cheap, selling during bubble when expensive, preparing for contraction during boom, investing during recovery when undervalued. Pattern recognition creates wealth, creates strategic timing, creates optimal decisions, creates financial success. Relationship patterns repeat. Honeymoon phase, attraction, idealization, excitement, passion, perfection perception, conflict avoidance. Reality phase, authentic seeing, imperfection recognition, conflict emergence, adjustment beginning, expectation recalibration. Crisis phase, major conflict, disappointment, disillusionment, decision point, relationship testing. Resolution phase, acceptance, commitment deepening, mature love, realistic expectations, sustainable partnership. Or separation phase, conflict escalation, relationship ending, dissolution, moving on. Pattern repeats in every relationship. Understanding this pattern enables realistic expectations during honeymoon, patience during reality, skillful navigation during crisis, commitment during resolution, wise decisions during separation consideration. Career patterns repeat. Learning phase, skill acquisition, rapid development, high engagement, steep growth curve, foundation building. Mastery phase, competence achievement, expertise development, peak performance, maximum contribution, career peak. Plateau phase, growth slowing, learning decreasing, routine increasing, boredom emerging, stagnation feeling. Reinvention phase, new learning, new direction, new skills, new growth, new trajectory. Or decline phase, obsolescence, irrelevance, displacement, career ending. Pattern repeats across careers. Understanding this pattern enables maximizing learning phase, capitalizing on mastery phase, recognizing plateau early, initiating reinvention proactively, avoiding decline completely. Market patterns repeat. Innovation phase, new technology, new product, new category, early adopters, high prices. Adoption phase, growing acceptance, expanding market, increasing competition, falling prices, standardization. Saturation phase, market maturity, growth slowing, intense competition, commoditization, margin pressure. Disruption phase, new innovation, category replacement, obsolescence threat, market transformation. Pattern repeats across industries. Understanding this pattern enables entering during innovation, scaling during adoption, exiting before saturation, anticipating disruption, strategic positioning always. Patterns reveal future. Recognition creates prediction. See patterns or remain surprised forever. Pattern recognition process has steps, has sequence, has method, has practice, has mastery. Step 1. Observe multiple examples. Cannot recognize pattern from single instance. Cannot see structure from one occurrence. Cannot identify cycle from isolated event. Need multiple examples. Need repeated instances. Need various occurrences. Need diverse contexts. Need sufficient data. Observe deliberately. Observe systematically. Observe completely. Observe honestly. Observe extensively. Stock market crashes. Observe 1929 crash. Observe 1987 crash. Observe 2000 crash. Observe 2008 crash. Observe 2020 crash. Multiple examples. Different contexts. Similar patterns. Failed relationships. Observe own failures. Observe friends' failures. Observe family failures. Observe public failures. Multiple examples. Different people. Similar patterns. Successful businesses. Observe Apple. Observe Amazon. Observe Google. Observe Microsoft. Observe Tesla. Multiple examples. Different industries. Similar patterns. Need sufficient examples. Need diverse contexts. Need multiple instances. To recognize pattern. To see structure. To identify repetition. Step 2. Identify common elements. What elements appear across all examples? What factors repeat consistently? What characteristics persist universally? What dynamics operate similarly? What sequences follow same order? Identify systematically. Identify thoroughly. Identify honestly. Identify completely. Identify accurately. Market crashes common elements. Preceding bubble with excessive valuation, widespread euphoria and overconfidence, leverage and speculation increasing, warning signs ignored, trigger event causing panic, cascading selling, severe decline, eventual recovery. These elements repeat. Repeat consistently. Repeat predictably. Repeat every crash. Failed relationships, common elements. Unrealistic expectations initially. Poor communication patterns. Unresolved conflicts accumulating. Resentment building. Contempt emerging. Disconnection increasing. Crisis triggering. Relationship ending. These elements repeat. Repeat consistently. Repeat predictably. Repeat failed relationships. Successful businesses, common elements. Solving real problem. Obsessive customer focus. Continuous innovation. Strong execution. Adaptable strategy. Resilient culture. Long-term thinking. These elements repeat. Repeat consistently. Repeat predictably. Repeat successful businesses. Identifying common elements reveals pattern structure. Reveals underlying principles. Reveals causal mechanisms. Reveals predictive factors. Reveals strategic insights. Step 3. Abstract underlying structure. Move from specific examples to general principle. Move from concrete instances to abstract pattern. Move from surface details to deep structure. Move from particular cases to universal framework. This abstraction enables transfer, enables application, enables prediction, enables mastery. Market crash, pattern abstraction. Excessive optimism creates bubble. Bubble attracts speculation. Speculation increases leverage. Leverage amplifies volatility. Trigger creates panic. Panic causes cascade. Cascade creates crash. Abstract structure. Applies universally. Applies to markets. Applies to investments. Applies to economies. Applies to sentiment cycles. Applies anywhere optimism, speculation, leverage, crash, cycle operates. Relationship pattern abstraction. Idealization creates unrealistic expectations. Reality reveals imperfections. Imperfections create disappointment. Disappointment handled poorly creates resentment. Resentment creates contempt. Contempt destroys relationship. Abstract structure. Applies universally. Applies to romantic relationships. Applies to friendships. Applies to business partnerships. Applies to family relationships. Applies anywhere idealization, disappointment, contempt, cycle operates. Business success pattern abstraction. Solving real problem creates value. Customer focus ensures fit. Innovation maintains advantage. Execution delivers results. Adaptation ensures survival. Culture enables excellence. Long-term thinking compounds success. Abstract structure. Applies universally. Applies to startups. Applies to enterprises. Applies to nonprofits. Applies to projects. Applies anywhere value, focus, innovation, execution, adaptation, cycle operates. Step 4. Recognize pattern in new contexts. Test abstraction. Apply framework. Identify pattern. Predict continuation. Validate recognition. New situation arises. Apply pattern framework. Does pattern fit? Do elements match? Does structure apply? Do dynamics operate similarly? If yes, pattern recognized. If yes, prediction possible. If yes, strategic action enabled. Cryptocurrency boom 2021. Recognize bubble pattern. Recognize excessive optimism. Recognize speculation increasing. Recognize leverage amplifying. Recognize warning signs emerging. Predict crash coming. Act accordingly. Exit before crash. Preserve capital. Pattern recognition creates strategic advantage. New relationship beginning. Recognize honeymoon pattern. Recognize idealization occurring. Recognize unrealistic expectations forming. Predict reality phase coming. Prepare communication skills. Develop conflict resolution. Build realistic expectations. Prevent disappointment, contempt cycle. Pattern recognition creates relationship success. New technology emerging. Recognize innovation pattern. Recognize early adoption beginning. Recognize market expansion coming. Predict saturation eventually. Predict disruption ultimately. Plan strategic timing. enter early, scale during adoption, exit before saturation. Pattern recognition creates business success. Step 5. Validate pattern repeatedly. One recognition could be coincidence. Multiple recognitions confirm pattern. Repeated validations prove pattern. Systematic testing strengthens confidence. Continuous application builds mastery. Track pattern predictions. Track pattern applications. Track pattern outcomes. Track pattern accuracy. Track pattern refinement. This validation improves pattern recognition accuracy, pattern application skill, pattern prediction confidence, pattern framework sophistication, pattern mastery depth. Chess masters recognize board patterns instantly. Recognized through tens of thousands of games, through deliberate study, through systematic exposure, through pattern drilling, through spaced repetition. Specific piece configurations signal specific strategies. Certain pawn structures indicate position types. Particular piece relationships suggest tactical opportunities. Recognizable endgame positions determine optimal play. King and pawn endgames. Specific patterns guarantee win. Specific patterns guarantee draw. Specific patterns determine technique. Master recognizes pattern instantly. Plays optimal move automatically. Achieves inevitable result systematically. Through pattern recognition. Through pattern mastery. Through pattern application. Chapter 4. Think in sequences. Plan multi-step moves. Sequential thinking is planning multiple connected moves. Planning coordinated steps. Planning contingent actions. Planning progressive advancement. Planning strategic positioning. Where each step enables next step. Where each move creates next opportunity. Where each action positions next action. Where each decision enables next decision. Where each outcome facilitates next outcome. Considering opponent responses. Considering environmental changes. Considering resource requirements. Considering timing dependencies. Considering risk factors. Planning contingencies for failures. Planning alternatives for blocks. Planning adjustments for surprises. Planning pivots for changes. Planning recoveries for setbacks. Seeing entire sequence before starting. Seeing complete pathway before moving. Seeing full trajectory before committing. Seeing ultimate outcome before beginning. Seeing strategic goal before executing. This sequential thinking creates strategic advantage. Creates coordinated action. Creates progressive success. Creates inevitable outcomes. Creates competitive dominance. Creates systematic victory. Creates reliable achievement. Creates predictable results. Most people think differently. Think single moves. Think isolated actions. Think independent decisions. Think disconnected choices. Think, what should I do now? Strategic thinkers think, if I do A, they respond B, then I do C, they counter D, then I do E, achieving goal F. Multi-step thinking, sequential planning, coordinated action, strategic mastery. Consider sequential thinking mechanism specifically. Consider how it operates. Consider what it enables. Consider what it achieves. Consider what it creates. Sequential thinking links actions, links moves, links decisions, links outcomes. Each action enables next. Each move positions next. Each decision creates next. Each outcome facilitates next. Like chain, like sequence, like progression, like pathway, like journey. Single move achieves little. 2 connected moves achieve more. 3 coordinated moves achieve significantly. 5 planned moves achieve substantially. 10 sequenced moves achieve mastery. 20 orchestrated moves achieve dominance. This multiplication is exponential, is geometric, is powerful, is transformative, is unstoppable. Example, negotiation sequence. Amateur thinks, ask for what I want. Professional thinks, first establish rapport, then demonstrate value, then create scarcity, then anchor high, then make strategic concession establishing precedent, then request reciprocal concession, then escalate request leveraging established pattern, then close on optimal terms. 8-step sequence. Each step enables next. Each move positions next. Each action creates next. Final outcome inevitable. Through sequence. Through planning. Through execution. Through mastery. Single moves achieve little. Sequences achieve mastery. Planned sequences or remain ineffective. Chess demonstrates sequential thinking powerfully. Demonstrates clearly. Demonstrates teachably. Demonstrates transferably. Demonstrates universally. Tactical combinations are 3 to 5 move sequences achieving material gain. Achieving positional advantage. Achieving checkmate. Each move forces response. Each response enables next move. Each next move forces another response. Sequence concludes with advantage. With material gain. With position improvement. With game winning. Example tactical sequence. Move 1. Knight takes pawn with check forcing king move. Move 2. King forced to specific square. Move 3. Bishop attacks queen exploiting king position. Move 4. Queen must move losing material. Move 5. Recapture pawn with material advantage. 5-move sequence. Forced. Inevitable. Winning. Through sequential planning. Through tactical vision. Through calculated force. Strategic plans are 10 to 20 move sequences achieving positional advantage. Achieving space control. Achieving piece coordination. Achieving long-term superiority. Each move improves position incrementally. Each improvement enables next improvement. Each step advances plan. Sequence creates overwhelming advantage. Creates dominant position. Creates inevitable victory. Opening preparation is memorized 15 move sequences. Sequences studied. Sequences practiced. Sequences mastered. Sequences executed. Move 1 through 15 known. Responses known. Continuations known. Plans known. Outcomes known. Through preparation. Through study. Through memorization. Through practice. Through mastery. This preparation creates advantage. Creates time advantage. Creates position advantage. Creates psychological advantage. Creates winning advantage. Endgame technique is calculated sequences to checkmate. Calculating exactly. Calculating precisely. Calculating completely. Calculating inevitably. Calculating perfectly. If I move rook here, king goes there. I move rook there, king must go here. I move king forward, opponent king moves, I advance pawn, opponent must block, I sacrifice rook, pawn promotes, checkmate in 3. Complete sequence. Calculated exactly. Executed perfectly. Achieving inevitable checkmate. Through sequential thinking. Through precise calculation. Through perfect execution. All chess mastery is sequential thinking. Is sequence planning. Is coordinated moves. Is progressive advantage. Is inevitable victory. Through thinking sequences. Through planning moves. Through executing perfectly. Real-world, sequential thinking demonstrates transferability. Demonstrates power. Demonstrates results. Demonstrates success. Demonstrates mastery. Career sequencing creates strategic advancement. Creates deliberate progression. Creates plan development. Creates inevitable success. Amateur thinks, get any job, do job, hope for promotion. Professional plan sequence. First job, develop skill A in startup environment, learning rapidly. 18 months builds a competence. Second job, leverage A to join larger company, develop skill B, build professional network. 24 months build B competence plus network. Third job, combine A and B to get management role, develop leadership skills C, gain strategic visibility. 30 months builds C competence plus visibility. Fourth job, leverage ABC combination plus network plus visibility to secure director position, develop executive skill D, drive major initiative. 36 months builds D competence plus track record. Fifth job, leverage complete skill set plus network plus track record to achieve VP position, lead division, prepare for C-suite. 10-year sequence. Each job enables next. Each skill builds on previous. Each network expands last. Each visibility amplifies prior. Final outcome planned. Final position achieved. Through sequence. Through planning. Through execution. Negotiation, sequencing creates optimal outcomes. Creates strategic advantage. Creates maximum value. Creates win achievement. Amateur thinks, ask for what I want. Accept or reject their response. Professional plans sequence. First concession. Make small symbolic concession, establishing precedent of reciprocity. Second, request reciprocal concession of equal value, testing reciprocity principle. Third, make moderate concession on low-value item, creating goodwill. Fourth, request significant concession on medium-value item, leveraging established pattern. Fifth, make final concession on medium-value item, appearing reasonable. Sixth, request major concession on high-value item, using reciprocity momentum. Seventh, close deal on optimal terms through established pattern. 7-step sequence. Each concession enables next request. Each request leverages previous pattern. Each step advances toward goal. Final outcome achieved. Through sequence. Through reciprocity. Through strategic concession management. Business sequencing creates market dominance. Creates competitive advantage. Creates inevitable leadership. Creates systematic victory. Amateur thinks, launch product. Sell product. Grow revenue. Professional plan sequence. Product A. Solve customer pain point. Build customer base. Operate at break even. Prioritize growth over profit. 12 months. Builds 100,000 customers. Product B. Monetize existing customer base. Achieve profitability. Generate cash flow. Fund development. 18 months. Builds revenue plus cash. Product C. Capture customer data. Analyze behavior. Develop insights. Create data advantage. 12 months. Builds data asset. Product D. Leverage data insights. Create personalized offerings. Achieve superior targeting. Dominate category. 24 months. Builds market dominance. 5-year sequence. Each product enables next. Each phase builds foundation. Each step creates advantage. Final dominance achieved. Through sequence. Through planning. Through systematic execution. Sequential thinking protocol enables systematic planning. Enables effective execution. Enables reliable achievement. Enables strategic mastery. 5-step protocol. Step 1. Define ultimate goal clearly. Where do you want to end up? What is final desired outcome? What is ultimate achievement? What is strategic objective? What is end state? Define precisely. Define specifically. Define measurably. Define completely. Define honestly. Cannot plan sequence without clear destination. Cannot coordinate moves without defined goal. Cannot execute systematically without specific objective. Must define goal first. Must clarify outcome initially. Must specify destination completely. Career example. Ultimate goal. VP product in Fortune 500 tech company by age 40. Clear goal. Specific position. Defined timeline. Measurable achievement. Strategic objective. Relationship example. Ultimate goal. Committed partnership with compatible person sharing values, goals, and vision. Clear goal. Specific outcome. Defined characteristics. Measurable compatibility. Strategic relationship. Business example. Ultimate goal. $50 million revenue SaaS company with 30% profit margins and market leadership in category. Clear goal. Specific metrics. Defined outcome. Measurable success. Strategic dominance. Step 2. Work backward, identifying required steps. From goal to now. From destination to current position. From outcome to present state. From achievement to today. Reverse engineering. Backward planning. Retrospective thinking. What must happen immediately before goal? What must exist before that? What must occur before that? Work backwards systematically. Career example working backward. VP at 40 requires. Director at 38. Director requires. Senior manager at 35. Senior manager requires. Manager at 32. Manager requires. Senior IC at 30. Senior IC requires. IC role at 28. IC role requires. Relevant degree plus skills. 6 steps identified. Working backward. From goal to now. Business example working backward. $50 million revenue requires. $30 million at year 4, $15 million at year 3, $5 million at year 2, $1 million at year 1. Product market fit at month 9, MVP at month 6, validation at month 3, concept today. 8 steps identified. Working backward. From goal to now. This backward planning reveals required sequence. Reveals necessary steps. Reveals critical milestones. Reveals prerequisite achievements. Reveals strategic pathway. Step 3. Identify dependencies between steps. What must happen before what? What enables what? What requires what? What depends on what? What prerequisites exist? Map dependencies. Map requirements. Map sequences. Map contingencies. Map timing. Career dependencies. Cannot get manager role without senior IC experience. Cannot get senior IC without IC role. Cannot get IC role without skills. Cannot get skills without learning. Must learn first, then IC, then senior IC, then manager. Clear dependencies. Clear sequence. Clear requirements. Clear pathway. Business dependencies. Cannot scale to $5 million without product market fit. Cannot achieve fit without MVP. Cannot build MVP without validation. Cannot validate without customer discovery. Must discover customers first, then validate, then build, then achieve fit, then scale. Clear dependencies. Clear sequence. Clear requirements. Clear pathway. Understanding dependencies prevents attempting steps out of order, skipping necessary steps, violating prerequisites, failing through sequence error. Enables correct sequencing, systematic progression, reliable advancement, inevitable achievement. Step 4. Plan contingencies for failures. What if step fails? What if obstacle emerges? What if timeline extends? What if resources insufficient? What if competition intensifies? Plan alternatives. Plan pivots. Plan adjustments. Plan recoveries. Plan workarounds. Career contingency. If promotion blocked, alternative. Lateral move to different company at higher level. If that fails, alternative. Start consulting, building network and skills. If that fails, alternative. Join startup, gaining broader experience. Multiple contingencies. Multiple alternatives. Multiple pathways. Flexible planning. Adaptive thinking. Business contingency. If product market fit not achieved by month 12, pivot to alternative customer segment. If that fails by month 18, pivot to different value proposition. If that fails by month 24, pivot to new product. Multiple contingencies. Multiple pivots. Multiple alternatives. Flexible strategy. Adaptive execution. Contingency planning prevents single point of failure, rigid execution, catastrophic failure, complete restart, total loss. Enables adaptive execution, flexible strategy, resilient progress, reliable achievement, ultimate success. Step 5. Execute first step while preparing second. Begin sequence. Execute systematically. Progress deliberately. Advance strategically. Position continuously. Execute first step completely. Execute excellently. Execute successfully. But while executing, prepare next step. Research next step. Plan next step. Position next step. Enable next step. This simultaneous execution and preparation creates smooth transitions, efficient progression, maintain momentum, strategic advancement, inevitable achievement. Career execution. While excelling in IC role simultaneously, develop skills needed for senior IC, build relationships, enabling promotion, demonstrate leadership capabilities, achieve visible results, position for advancement. Execute current excellently. Prepare next simultaneously. Business execution, while validating product concept, simultaneously. Build relationships with potential customers, develop MVP design, recruit technical talent, raise seed funding, establish company infrastructure. Execute current completely. Prepare next simultaneously. This dual focus creates seamless progression, creates efficient advancement, creates strategic sequencing, creates inevitable success. Single moves achieve little. Sequences achieve mastery. Planned sequences or remain ineffective. You understand now that sequential thinking plans multiple connected moves through coordinated strategy. You understand that chess demonstrates sequential mastery through tactical combinations and strategic plans. You understand that sequential protocol enables systematic planning through 5 deliberate steps. Stop thinking single isolated moves only. Start planning multi-step sequences systematically. Stop making decisions without considering next steps. Start thinking 3 moves ahead minimum, 5 moves preferred, 10 moves optimal. Stop executing without preparation. Start executing current while preparing next simultaneously. Implement sequential thinking starting today. Choose one important goal currently. Define ultimate outcome clearly. Work backward, identifying required steps. Map dependencies between steps. Plan contingencies for failures. Execute first step while preparing second. Think in sequences. Plan multiple moves. Execute systematically. This creates strategic advantage. This enables inevitable achievement. This produces systematic success. Your advantage awaits sequential thinking. Your achievement awaits sequence planning. Your success awaits systematic execution. Plan sequences now. Think multiple moves ahead. Execute strategically through sequential thinking starting today. You think sequences now. Next, you must predict consequences. Chapter 5. Predict consequences. See downstream effects. Consequence prediction is forecasting action outcomes across multiple time horizons. Across immediate effects. Across short-term results. Across medium-term impacts. Across long-term consequences. Across systemic changes. Seeing direct effects happening immediately. Seeing secondary effects following subsequently. Seeing tertiary effects emerging eventually. Seeing cascading effects rippling continuously. Seeing equilibrium effects establishing permanently. Most people see only immediate consequences. See only first-order effects. See only direct results. See only obvious outcomes. See only surface impacts. Never seeing cascade. Never seeing ripples. Never seeing downstream. Never seeing long-term. Never seeing systemic. Strategic thinkers see differently. See complete cascade. See all ripples. See full downstream. See long-term impacts. See systemic changes. This comprehensive vision creates strategic advantage, creates better decisions, creates avoided disasters, creates optimized outcomes, creates systematic success, prevents unintended consequences, prevents cascade disasters, prevents downstream problems, prevents long-term regrets, prevents systemic failures. Through consequence prediction, through cascade vision, through downstream thinking, through long-term consideration, through systemic understanding. Second-order thinking asks repeatedly, and then what? Asks systematically, asks comprehensively, asks deeply, asks persistently, asks transformatively. First question, if I do this, what happens immediately? First-order consequence, immediate effect, direct result, obvious outcome, surface impact. Second question, and then what happens? Second-order consequence, subsequent effect, indirect result, less obvious outcome, deeper impact. Third question, and then what happens after that? Third-order consequence, later effect, cascade result, Non-obvious outcome. Systemic impact. Fourth question. And then what happens next? Fourth order consequence. System adjustment. Equilibrium seeking. Complex result. Emergent outcome. Fifth question. And then what is final state? Fifth order consequence. New equilibrium. Stable state. Ultimate outcome. Permanent impact. Continuing through multiple levels. Through multiple orders. Through complete cascade. Through full ripple. Through total downstream. Until final equilibrium. Until stable state. Until ultimate outcome. Until permanent consequence. Until systemic understanding complete. Actions create cascades. Consequences multiply downstream. Predict cascades or suffer surprises. Example demonstrates cascade clearly. Demonstrates powerfully. Demonstrates teachably. Demonstrates cautionarily. Demonstrates transformatively. Decision. Lower prices to increase market share. Seems logical. Seems strategic. Seems competitive. Seems growth-oriented. Seems obvious. First-order consequence. More sales. Immediate effect. Direct result. Obvious outcome. Revenue increases. Volume grows. Market share expands. Customers happy. Seems successful. Second-order consequence. Competitors lower prices. Inevitable response. Competitive reaction. Market adjustment. They match reduction. They undercut further. They defend share. Price war begins. Margins compress. Profitability threatened. Third-order consequence. Industry-wide price war. Cascading effect. System response. Competitive dynamics. All competitors reducing prices. All defending volume. All sacrificing margin. Industry profitability eroding. No one winning. Everyone suffering. Fourth-order consequence. Weakest competitors fail. Systemic adjustment. Market consolidation. Business failures. Companies with weak balance sheets cannot sustain. Companies with high costs cannot compete. Companies with low margins cannot survive. Bankruptcies follow. Consolidation begins. Industry restructures. Fifth-order consequence. Survivors face destroyed industry economics. New equilibrium. Stable state. Ultimate outcome. Prices permanently lower. Margins permanently compressed. Profitability permanently reduced. Customers expect low prices. Investors demand different returns. Industry fundamentally changed. Original decision seemed good. Seemed strategic. Seemed competitive. Seemed growth-oriented. But cascade destroyed value. Destroyed profitability. Destroyed industry. Destroyed everyone. First-order thinking. Lower prices increases sales. Good decision. Second-order thinking. Lower prices increases sales, but triggers competitive response, destroying profitability. Bad decision. Complete difference. Complete opposite. Complete reversal. Through seeing cascade. Through predicting downstream. Through understanding consequences. Strategic thinker predicts cascade before acting. Sees complete sequence. Sees ultimate outcome. Sees final equilibrium. Decides differently. Decides strategically. Avoids disaster. Through consequence prediction. Through cascade vision. Through downstream thinking. Consequence prediction framework enables systematic forecasting. Enables comprehensive analysis. Enables strategic thinking. Enables better decisions. Enables avoided disasters. 5-level framework. 5 orders of consequences. 5 cascade stages. 5 ripple levels. 5 downstream horizons. Level 1. Identify direct effects. First-order consequences. Immediate results. Obvious outcomes. Direct impacts. What happens immediately? What changes directly? What results obviously? What impacts immediately? What occurs instantly? List all direct effects. List completely. List honestly. List systematically. List comprehensively. Career decision example. Accept new job. Direct effects include new salary, new responsibilities, new colleagues, new commute, new challenges, new learning, new environment. all immediate, all direct, all obvious, all first order. Level 2. Identify reactions to effects. Second order consequences. Subsequent results. Less obvious outcomes. Indirect impacts. What reactions follow? What adjustments occur? What responses emerge? What changes cascade? What effects ripple? Career decision continued. Second-order effects include current employer counteroffer, family adjustment to schedule change, friend relationship changes from location change, skill development from new challenges, stress increase from learning curve, network expansion from new colleagues. All subsequent, all reactive, all indirect, all second order. Level 3. Identify reactions to reactions. Third-order consequences. Later results. Non-obvious outcomes. Cascade impacts. What happens after reactions? What adjusts after adjustments? What emerges after responses? What cascades after cascades? What ripples after ripples? Career decision continued. Third-order effects include declining counteroffer damages current relationship. Family stress from adjustment creates home tension. Friend distance creates loneliness. Skill development creates new opportunities. Stress causes health impact. Network creates unexpected opportunities. All later, all cascading, all emergent, all third order. Level 4. Identify system adjustments. Fourth order consequences. System responses. Equilibrium seeking. Complex results. Emergent outcomes. How does system adjust? How does environment respond? How do dynamics change? How does equilibrium shift? How does context transform? Career decision continued. Fourth-order effects include damage relationship, closes return option, home tension affects performance, loneliness impacts well-being, new opportunities create decisions, health impact requires adjustment, unexpected opportunities shift trajectory. All systemic, all adjusting, all equilibrating, all fourth order. Level 5. Identify equilibrium state. Fifth-order consequences. New stable state. Ultimate outcome. Permanent impact. Final result. What is final state? What is new equilibrium? What is ultimate outcome? What is permanent change? What is stable result? Career decision continued. Fifth-order effects include career permanently altered trajectory, relationships permanently reconfigured, location permanently changed, skills permanently expanded, health permanently impacted, opportunities permanently different. All permanent, all equilibrium, all ultimate, all fifth order. This 5-level framework reveals complete cascade, reveals total ripple, reveals full downstream, reveals ultimate outcome, reveals permanent consequence, enables strategic decisions, enables disaster avoidance, enables optimal outcomes, enables systematic success, through prediction, through forecasting, through thinking, through analysis, through mastery. Real-world consequence prediction demonstrates power, demonstrates necessity, demonstrates results, demonstrates wisdom, demonstrates mastery. Relationship decision. Say yes to date invitation. First order. Enjoyable evening, pleasant company, mutual attraction, positive experience. Seems good. Second order. Relationship develops, time commitment increases, regular contact expected, emotional investment grows. Seems manageable. Third order. Other opportunities foreclosed, alternative relationships unavailable, time for other priorities reduced, emotional dependency develops. Seems concerning. Fourth order. Incompatibilities emerge, value differences surface, goal misalignment appears, resentment develops, relationship strain increases. Seems problematic. Fifth order. Relationship ends painfully, time invested lost, emotional damage sustained, recovery required, lessons learned. Or alternative. Compatibility deepens, partnership strengthens, shared life builds, mutual growth occurs, lasting love achieved. 2 possible equilibria. Prediction reveals both. Enables informed decision. Enables strategic choice. enables conscious commitment, or conscious declining, career decision, take promotion to management. First order, higher salary, more responsibility, more status, team leadership, career advancement. Seems great. Second order, longer hours required, stress increases significantly, technical skills atrophy, political navigation necessary, work-life balance suffers. Seems challenging. Third order, family relationships strain, health deteriorates, technical expertise obsoletes, management skills develop, network expands significantly. Seems mixed. Fourth order, family tension creates problems, health issues emerge, technical obsolescence limits options, management mastery creates opportunities, network creates possibilities. Seems complex. Fifth order, family damage permanent, health permanently affected, technical return impossible, executive path opened, strategic opportunities abundant. Or alternative, promotion declined, technical mastery achieved, work-life maintained, health preserved, specialist path successful. 2. Equilibria. Prediction reveals both. Enables informed decision. Enables values alignment. Enables conscious choice. Financial decision. Buy house stretching budget. First order. Home ownership achieved. Monthly payment high. Equity building begins. Financial commitment made. Seems achievable. Second order. Budget flexibility reduced. Savings capacity decreased. Investment opportunities missed. Financial stress increases. Seems constraining. Third order. Career flexibility limited by payment obligation. Relocation difficult. Emergency fund inadequate. Stress affects decisions. Opportunities foregone. Seems limiting. Fourth order. Career opportunities declined due to immobility. Financial resilience weak. Stress impacts health. Wealth building delayed. Alternatives foreclosed. Seems costly. Fifth order. Career permanently limited. Wealth significantly less. Health impacted. Flexibility lost. Opportunities missed permanently. Or alternative. Home equity substantial. Forced savings successful. Community established. Stability achieved. Wealth created. 2. Equilibria. Prediction reveals both. Enables informed decision. Enables strategic choice. Enables conscious commitment. Actions create cascades. Consequences multiply downstream. Predict cascades or suffer surprises. You understand now that consequence prediction forecasts outcomes through multiple time horizons. You understand that second-order thinking asks, and then what, through systematic questioning. You understand that 5-level framework enables comprehensive analysis through structured prediction. Stop considering only immediate consequences when deciding. Start predicting complete cascade through fifth-order effects. Stop making decisions without downstream thinking. Start asking, and then what, repeatedly and systematically. Stop suffering from unintended consequences. Start forecasting cascades before acting deliberately. Practice consequence prediction starting today. Choose one important pending decision currently. Apply 5-level framework systematically. Identify first-order direct effects completely. Identify second-order reactions to effects thoroughly. Identify third-order reactions to reactions deeply. Identify fourth-order system adjustments comprehensively. Identify fifth-order equilibrium state honestly. Consider both positive and negative equilibria. Make informed decision considering complete cascade. This prediction is power. This forecasting is wisdom. This thinking is mastery. Your power awaits consequence prediction. Your wisdom awaits cascade forecasting. Your mastery awaits systematic thinking. Predict consequences now. Forecast cascades completely. Think downstream through consequence prediction starting today. You predict consequences now. Next, you must plan scenarios. Chapter 6. Develop scenario planning. Prepare for multiple futures. Scenario planning is developing multiple plausible future scenarios. Developing systematically. developing comprehensively, developing realistically, developing preparedly, planning responses for each scenario, planning strategies for each future, planning actions for each possibility, planning adaptations for each outcome, planning contingencies for each path, identifying early signals, distinguishing scenarios, identifying warning signs, identifying indicators, identifying markers, identifying triggers, maintaining flexibility to adapt as future unfolds, maintaining readiness to pivot, maintaining capacity to adjust, maintaining preparedness to shift, maintaining agility to respond. Most people plan for one expected future, plan for single scenario, plan for assumed outcome, plan for hoped result, plan for predicted path. This single scenario planning creates vulnerability, creates rigidity, creates surprise, creates unpreparedness, creates failure. When expected future doesn't materialize, when assumed outcome doesn't occur, when hoped result doesn't happen, when predicted path doesn't unfold. Strategic thinkers prepare differently. Prepare for multiple possible futures. Prepare for various scenarios. Prepare for different outcomes. Prepare for alternative paths. Prepare for uncertainty. This multi-scenario preparation creates resilience, creates flexibility, creates readiness, creates preparedness, creates success, regardless which future unfolds, regardless which scenario materializes, regardless which outcome occurs, regardless which path develops. Chess masters demonstrate scenario planning powerfully, demonstrate clearly, demonstrate systematically, demonstrate masterfully, demonstrate teachably. Opening preparation develops multiple scenarios, multiple lines, multiple variations, multiple possibilities. If opponent plays 1.e4, prepared Sicilian defense. If opponent plays 1.d4, prepared King's Indian defense. If opponent plays 1.c4, prepared English response. If opponent plays 1.nf3, prepared flexible setup. Multiple scenarios, multiple preparations, multiple responses, multiple strategies. Each opening move creates different scenario. Each scenario has prepared response. Each response has practice continuation. Each continuation has studied positions. Complete preparation, complete readiness, complete flexibility, complete mastery. Calculation develops multiple scenarios, multiple variations, multiple branches, multiple possibilities. If I play next 5 and opponent takes, then qh5 plus with attack. If opponent doesn't take, then nc6 attacking center. If opponent plays defense A, then continuation B. If opponent plays defense C, then continuation D. Multiple scenarios, multiple calculations, multiple responses, multiple strategies. Each opponent response creates different scenario. Each scenario has calculated continuation. Each continuation has evaluated position. Each position has planned strategy. Preparation for different opponent styles creates scenarios. Against aggressive opponent, prepare solid defense. Against positional opponent, prepare active counterplay. Against tactical opponent, prepare careful calculation. Against strategic opponent, prepare long-term planning. Multiple opponent types, multiple scenarios, multiple preparations, multiple strategies. Each opponent's style creates different scenario. Each scenario requires different strategy. Each strategy has practiced responses. Each response has prepared continuations. This multi-scenario thinking creates readiness for anything, flexibility in response, adaptation to circumstances, resilience under pressure, victory through preparation. Chess mastery is scenario mastery, is preparation mastery, is flexibility mastery, is adaptation mastery. Real-world scenario planning demonstrates transferability, demonstrates necessity, demonstrates power, demonstrates results, demonstrates success. Prepare for multiple futures. Plan for various scenarios. Adapt as future unfolds. Business scenario planning is essential. Is systematic. Is comprehensive. Is strategic. Is survival critical. Every business faces uncertainty. Faces multiple possible futures. Faces various scenarios. Faces different outcomes. Faces alternative paths. Smart businesses prepare for all. Prepare systematically. Prepare comprehensively. Prepare strategically. For standard business scenarios commonly used. Optimistic scenario, rapid growth. Market expands quickly. Adoption accelerates rapidly. Competition remains weak. Execution succeeds completely. Resources prove adequate. Everything works. Revenue grows 100% annually. Profitability achieves quickly. Market leadership secured. This scenario requires aggressive investment, rapid scaling, talent acquisition, infrastructure building, market capture focus. Realistic scenario, steady growth. Market expands moderately. Adoption proceeds normally. Competition intensifies predictably. Execution succeeds adequately. Resources prove sufficient. Most things work. Revenue grows 30% annually. Profitability achieved eventually. Market position established. This scenario requires balanced investment, measured scaling, selective hiring, efficient infrastructure, sustainable operations. Pessimistic scenario, slow growth. Market expands slowly. Adoption proceeds sluggishly. Competition intensifies significantly. Execution faces challenges. Resources prove constrained. Many things difficult. Revenue grows 10% annually. Profitability delayed substantially. Market position contested. This scenario requires conservative investment, cautious scaling, minimal hiring, lean infrastructure, survival focus. Crisis scenario, contraction. Market contracts. Adoption reverses. Competition becomes destructive. Execution fails partially. Resources prove inadequate. Everything difficult. Revenue declines. Profitability impossible. Market position threatened. This scenario requires investment halt, scaling reversal, workforce reduction, infrastructure minimization, survival mode. For scenarios. For futures. For strategies. For preparations. Develop strategy for each scenario. Prepare response for each future. Identify signals distinguishing scenarios. Monitor signals continuously. Detect which scenario unfolding. Adapt strategy accordingly. Execute appropriate response. This preparation creates resilience through uncertainty, flexibility under pressure, adaptation to reality, survival through crisis, success through preparation. Career scenario planning creates preparedness, creates options, creates resilience, creates success. Every career faces uncertainty, faces multiple possible futures, faces various scenarios, faces different outcomes. Smart professionals prepare for all. For career scenarios commonly relevant. Promotion scenario, advancement achieved, performance recognized, skills valued, opportunity emerges, promotion granted, responsibility increases, compensation rises. This scenario requires continued excellence, skill development, relationship building, visibility maintenance, readiness demonstration. Lateral move scenario, advancement blocked, promotion unavailable, growth limited, opportunity elsewhere. Move laterally, different company, similar level, new challenges. This scenario requires network cultivation, market awareness, skill transferability, interview preparation, transition readiness. Job loss scenario, position eliminated, company downsizes, department restructures, role redundant, job lost, income stops, search begins. This scenario requires emergency fund, network strength, skill currency, resume readiness, confidence maintenance. Industry disruption scenario, Entire industry disrupted. Technology changes fundamentally. Business models obsolete. Skills become irrelevant. Career endangered. This scenario requires adjacent skill development, industry monitoring, pivot preparation, continuous learning, adaptability cultivation. For scenarios, for futures, for preparations, for strategies. Develop response for each scenario. Prepare action plan for each future. Identify early warning signals. Monitor continuously. Detect which scenario emerging. Execute appropriate response. This preparation prevents career surprise, financial crisis, identity loss, recovery struggle, permanent setback. Enables smooth transitions, maintain momentum, preserve confidence, continued success, strategic advancement. Relationships scenario planning creates wisdom, creates preparedness, creates success, creates resilience. Every significant relationship faces uncertainty, faces multiple possible futures, faces various scenarios, faces different outcomes. Wise people prepare for all. For relationship scenarios commonly relevant. Deepen scenario. Relationship strengthens. Compatibility confirms. Love deepens. Commitment increases. Partnership solidifies. Future together. This scenario requires continued investment, vulnerability deepening, conflict resolution, shared vision, mutual growth. Maintain scenario. Relationship stabilizes. Compatibility adequate. Love comfortable. Commitment steady. Partnership continues. Status quo acceptable. This scenario requires basic maintenance, reasonable effort, conflict management, separate goals accepted, individual growth. Distance scenario. Relationship weakens. Compatibility questions. Love fades. Commitment wavers. Partnership strains. Future uncertain. This scenario requires honest assessment, effort increase or decrease, clear communication, decision preparation, alternative consideration. In scenario, relationship terminates. Incompatibility clear. Love gone. Commitment ended. Partnership dissolved. Future separate. This scenario requires graceful exit, dignity maintenance, lesson extraction, healing process, forward movement. For scenarios, for futures, for preparations, for responses. No response for each scenario. Prepare emotionally for each future. Identify signals distinguishing scenarios. Monitor relationship health. Detect which scenario emerging. Execute appropriate response. Adjust strategy accordingly. This preparation prevents prolonged suffering, sudden shock, poor decisions, regret accumulation, growth prevention. Enables wise decisions, timely action, preserved dignity, extracted learning, forward progress. Scenario planning protocol enables systematic development, enables comprehensive preparation, enables strategic readiness, enables adaptive success. 7-step protocol. Step 1. Identify key uncertainties affecting outcome. What factors are uncertain? What variables are unpredictable? What elements could vary significantly? What forces might change dramatically? What developments could alter trajectory? List all key uncertainties. List systematically. List comprehensively. List honestly. Business uncertainties. Market growth rate, competitive intensity, technology adoption, regulatory changes, economic conditions, talent availability, capital markets. Career uncertainties. Company performance, industry health, technology disruption, management changes, economic conditions, personal performance, health factors. Relationship uncertainties, compatibility depth, value alignment, life goal convergence, conflict resolution ability, external stresses, personal growth trajectories, circumstantial changes. Identify uncertainties creates scenario foundation, creates planning basis, creates preparation framework. Step 2. Develop 3 to 4 plausible scenarios based on uncertainties. Not all possible scenarios. Not infinite variations. 3 to 4 plausible scenarios. Plausible means could reasonably happen based on identified uncertainties, internally consistent, meaningfully different. Too many scenarios create confusion. Too few scenarios miss possibilities. 3 to 4 scenarios optimal. Create scenarios by combining uncertainty outcomes, creating coherent narratives, ensuring meaningful differences, maintaining plausibility, covering range of possibilities. Business scenarios: optimistic growth, realistic growth, pessimistic stagnation, crisis contraction. Career scenarios: promotion, lateral move, job loss, industry disruption. Relationship scenarios: deepen, maintain, distance, end. Each scenario plausible. Each based on uncertainties. Each internally consistent. Each meaningfully different. Step 3. Describe each scenario in detail. Describe vividly. Describe specifically. Describe completely. Describe narratively. Tell the story. How does this scenario unfold? What happens first? What happens next? What are the consequences? What is the final state? Detailed description creates vivid understanding, emotional preparation, signal identification, response clarity, execution readiness. Business optimistic scenario detail. Market expands rapidly, driven by technology adoption. Our product gains traction quickly. Competitors slow to respond. We capture 40% market share within 3 years. Revenue grows 100% annually. Profitability achieved year 2. We become category leader. Complete story. Vivid detail. Specific outcomes. Clear trajectory. Step 4. Develop strategy for each scenario. What strategy fits this scenario? What actions are appropriate? What responses are optimal? What resources are required? What execution is necessary? Develop completely. Develop specifically. Develop actionably. Business optimistic strategy. Invest aggressively in growth. Hire rapidly. Expand sales force. Increase marketing spend. Build infrastructure. Capture market quickly. Prioritize growth over short-term profit. Clear strategy. Specific actions. Appropriate response. Business pessimistic strategy. Conserve cash carefully. Hire minimally. Focus on efficiency. Reduce marketing spend. Optimize infrastructure. Prioritize survival. Achieve profitability quickly. Different strategy. Different actions. Different response. Each scenario gets appropriate strategy. Each future gets proper response. Each possibility gets right preparation. Step 5. Identify early warning signals. What signals indicate which scenario unfolding? What indicators distinguish scenarios? What markers signal direction? What data reveals trajectory? What evidence shows path? Identify specifically. Identify measurably. Identify observably. Business signals. Month 3 revenue indicates growth rate. Month 6 customer acquisition indicate adoption pace. Competitor actions indicate competitive intensity. Funding environment indicates capital availability. Track these signals. Monitor continuously. Measure regularly. Observe systematically. These signals reveal which scenario unfolding. Reveal which future materializing. Reveal which path developing. Step 6. Monitor signals to detect which scenario unfolding. Watch signals continuously. Track indicators regularly. Measure markers systematically. Observe evidence constantly. Collect data persistently. This monitoring reveals which scenario materializing, which future unfolding, which path developing, which strategy appropriate, which response necessary. Enables timely adaptation. Enables strategic pivoting. Enables appropriate response. Enables optimal execution. Enables successful outcome. Step 7. Adapt strategy accordingly. When signals indicate scenario A unfolding, execute strategy A. When signals indicate scenario B unfolding, execute strategy B. When signals indicate scenario changing, adapt strategy accordingly. This adaptation creates alignment with reality, responsiveness to conditions, optimization for circumstances, resilience through change, success through flexibility. Scenario planning is not prediction, not fortune-telling, not certainty creation, is preparation, is readiness, is flexibility, is resilience, is strategic advantage, through multiple futures, through various scenarios, through different possibilities, through adaptive responses, through systematic preparation. Prepare for multiple futures. Plan for various scenarios. Adapt as future unfolds. You understand now that scenario planning prepares for multiple futures through systematic development. You understand that chess demonstrates scenario planning through opening preparation and calculation variations. You understand that 7-step protocol enables comprehensive preparation through structured process. Stop planning for single expected future only. Start developing multiple plausible scenarios systematically. Stop being surprised when assumptions prove wrong. Start preparing for various possibilities deliberately. Stop remaining rigid when circumstances change. Start adapting flexibly as future unfolds. Practice scenario planning starting today. Choose one important uncertain situation currently. Identify key uncertainties affecting outcome. Develop 3 to 4 plausible scenarios. Describe each scenario in vivid detail. Develop strategy for each scenario. Identify early warning signals. Monitor signals continuously. Prepare to adapt strategy accordingly. This planning creates resilience. This preparation creates readiness. This flexibility creates success. Your resilience awaits scenario planning. Your readiness awaits multiple preparations. Your success awaits adaptive execution. Plan scenarios now. Prepare for multiple futures. Adapt flexibly through scenario planning starting today. You plan scenarios now. Next, you must think probabilistically. Chapter 7. Think probabilistically. Reason in likelihoods, not certainties. Probabilistic thinking is reasoning about likelihoods rather than certainties. Reasoning in probabilities. Reasoning in chances. Reasoning in odds. Reasoning in percentages. Reasoning in distributions. Not binary thinking. Not absolute thinking. Not certain thinking. Not guaranteed thinking. Not definite thinking. Probabilistic thinking. Likelihood thinking. Probability thinking. Nuanced thinking. Sophisticated thinking. Updating beliefs based on evidence. Updating continuously. Updating systematically. Updating honestly. Updating rationally. Making decisions under uncertainty. Making intelligently. Making strategically. Making optimally. Making successfully. Thinking in expected values, not guaranteed outcomes. Thinking mathematically. Thinking rationally. Thinking strategically. Thinking masterfully. Most people think in binary terms. Think will or won't happen. Think true or false. Think right or wrong. Think yes or no. Think succeed or fail. Think win or lose. Think certain or impossible. Black or white. No gray. No nuance. No probability. No likelihood. No uncertainty acknowledgement. Strategic thinkers think differently. Think in probabilities. Think 70% likely. Think 30% chance. Think more probable than not. Think low probability, but high impact. Think distribution of outcomes. Think ranges, not points. Think likelihoods, not certainties. This probabilistic thinking creates better decisions, creates realistic expectations, creates strategic advantage, creates optimal outcomes, creates systematic success. Chess demonstrates probabilistic thinking clearly, demonstrates measurably, demonstrates practically, demonstrates teachably, demonstrates transferably. Position evaluation considers probability of successful attack, not certainty of success. Probability of success. Grandmaster evaluates This attack has 60% chance of success if opponent plays accurately. Has 80% chance if opponent makes typical mistake. Has 40% chance if opponent finds best defense. Probabilistic evaluation. Not certain prediction. Not guaranteed outcome. Likelihood assessment. Probability estimation. This evaluation informs decisions. Informs risk-taking. Informs position choice. Informs strategic direction. Informs optimal play. Risk assessment weighs probability of opponent finding defense. Strong move if opponent doesn't find defense. Strong move gives excellent position. Strong move creates winning chances. But opponent finds defense 40% of time. 40% chance of finding. 60% chance of missing. Probabilistic assessment. Weigh probabilities. Weigh expected values. Weigh risk-reward. Decide accordingly. Play move if expected value positive. Avoid move if expected value negative. This probabilistic reasoning creates optimal decisions. Creates strategic advantage. Creates winning percentage. Creates long-term success. Opening preparation considers probability of opponent familiarity. Unusual opening likely surprises opponent 70% of time. 70% unfamiliar. 30% prepared. Mainstream opening opponent knows 90% of time. 90% familiar. 10% surprised. Probabilistic consideration. Weigh surprise value. Weigh preparation advantage. Weigh risk of known theory. Decide based on probabilities. Decide based on opponent. Decide based on situation. Decide based on expected value. This probabilistic preparation creates strategic advantage. Creates psychological edge. Creates optimal opening choice. Creates winning chances. All chess decisions involve probability. Involve uncertainty. Involve likelihood. Involve chance. Involve risk. Grandmasters think probabilistically. Think in percentages. Think in likelihoods. Think in expected values. Think in distributions. This thinking creates better decisions, optimal risk-taking, strategic advantage, winning percentage, systematic success. Same thinking applies to life, to business, to career, to relationships, to investments, to everything. Will or won't are not your only options. Think probabilities. Think likelihoods. Think strategically. Probabilistic reasoning requires specific capabilities, requires specific skills, requires specific practices, requires specific frameworks, requires specific mastery. Capability 1. Estimating base rates. Base rate is general frequency of event. Overall probability. Population percentage. Historical rate. Statistical frequency. Before considering specific evidence. Before individual factors. Before unique circumstances. Just general frequency. Just overall rate. Example. What percentage of startups succeed? Base rate approximately 10%. 90% fail. 10% succeed. This base rate is starting point. Is prior probability. Is initial estimate. Before considering specific startup. Before evaluating team. Before assessing market. Before analyzing product. Just general base rate. Just statistical frequency. Most people ignore base rates. Ignore statistical reality. Ignore historical frequency. Ignore population percentage. Focus only on specific case. Focus only on individual factors. Focus only on unique circumstances. This creates bias. Creates overconfidence. Creates poor predictions. Creates bad decisions. Probabilistic thinkers start with base rates. Start with statistics. Start with historical frequency. Start with population data. Then adjust based on specific evidence. Then update based on individual factors. Then refine based on unique circumstances. This creates accurate predictions. Creates realistic expectations. Creates better decisions. Capability 2. Updating based on specific evidence. Bayesian updating. Evidence-based adjustment. Data-driven refinement. Information-responsive modification. Start with base rate prior probability. Then gather specific evidence. Then update probability based on evidence. Then refine estimate based on data. Then adjust belief based on information. Example continued. Startup base rate 10% success. Specific evidence about this startup. Experienced founding team, strong product market fit signals, adequate funding, growing market, competitive advantage. Each piece of evidence updates probability. Team experience increases success probability to 20%. Product market fit increases to 35%. Adequate funding increases to 45%. Growing market increases to 55%. Competitive advantage increases to 65%. Final probability estimate, 65% chance of success. Updated from 10% base rate. Updated based on specific evidence. Updated systematically. Updated rationally. This updating creates accurate probabilities, realistic expectations, better decisions, optimal actions, strategic advantage. Capability 3. Considering alternative explanations. Walls could explain evidence. What alternative causes possible? What different interpretations reasonable? What other explanations plausible? Always consider alternatives. Always explore options. Always examine possibilities. Always evaluate explanations. Example, startup shows rapid growth. One explanation, product market fit achieved, sustainable growth, success likely. Alternative explanation, unsustainable marketing spend, artificial growth, burn rate excessive, collapse likely. Both explanations fit evidence. Both could be true. Must consider both. Must evaluate both. Must weigh both. Must decide based on additional evidence. Additional evidence needed. Customer retention rates, unit economics, organic growth percentage, marketing efficiency. This evidence distinguishes explanations. This evidence enables judgment. This evidence informs probability. This evidence guides decision. Considering alternatives prevents premature conclusions, confirmation bias, overconfidence, poor decisions, surprise failures. Enables accurate assessment, realistic probability, better judgment, optimal decisions, strategic success. Capability 4. Thinking in expected values. Expected value equals probability times outcome value. Mathematical calculation. Rational framework. Decision optimization. Strategic thinking. Example, risky investment opportunity. 40% chance of 10x return. 60% chance of total loss. Expected value calculation. 40% times 10x equals 4x positive. 60% times 1x loss equals 0.6x negative. Net expected value. 4x minus 0.6x equals 3.4x. Positive expected value. Mathematically attractive. Strategically sound. If position size appropriate. If risk manageable. If downside survivable. Compare to safe investment. 100% chance of 1.5x return. Expected value, 1.5x certain. Lower than risky, 3.4x expected. But certain versus uncertain. Guaranteed versus probabilistic. Safe versus risky. Decision depends on risk tolerance, position sizing, portfolio context, survival importance, opportunity cost. Expected value thinking enables rational comparison, optimal decisions, portfolio optimization, risk management, strategic advantage. Most people think in guaranteed outcomes only. Think binary success or failure. Think certain return or total loss. Never calculate expected value. Never compare probabilistically. Never optimize mathematically. This creates suboptimal decisions, missed opportunities, excessive risk aversion, portfolio underperformance, strategic disadvantage. Capability 5. Acknowledging uncertainty. Admitting what you don't know. Admitting probability, not certainty. Admitting likelihood, not guarantee. Admitting range, not point. Admitting distribution, not single number. Most people pretend certainty, pretend knowledge, pretend precision, pretend accuracy, pretend confidence. This pretense creates overconfidence, poor decisions, surprised failures, credibility loss, systematic mistakes. Probabilistic thinkers acknowledge uncertainty, acknowledge honestly, acknowledge explicitly, acknowledge precisely. State probabilities, 60% confident, likely but not certain, probably succeeds, range between X and Y. Most likely outcome Z, but alternatives possible. This acknowledgement creates calibrated confidence, realistic expectations, appropriate caution, better decisions, maintain credibility. Calibration is probability accuracy. When you say 70% confident, are you right 70% of time? When you say 90% confident, are you right 90% of time? Most people poorly calibrated. Say 90% confident, actually right 70% of time. Overconfident systematically. Calibration improves through tracking predictions, measuring accuracy, comparing predictions to outcomes, adjusting confidence accordingly, learning from errors. This calibration creates accurate probabilities, creates realistic confidence, creates better predictions, creates optimal decisions. Real-world probabilistic thinking demonstrates power, demonstrates necessity, demonstrates results, demonstrates success. Business decision, launch new product. Binary thinking, will it succeed or fail? Seems good. Launch. Probabilistic thinking, 40% chance of success with 10x revenue. 40% chance of moderate success with 2x revenue. 20% chance of failure with total loss. Expected value, 40% times 10x plus 40% times 2x minus 20% times 1x equals 4.6x. Positive expected value. Launch makes sense if position sized appropriately. Better decision, better framework, better analysis, better outcome. Career decision, accept risky career change. Binary thinking, will it work or fail? Feels right. Accept. Probabilistic thinking, 60% probability of success with 3x outcome. 40% probability of failure returning to previous level. Expected value, 60% times 3x plus 40% times 1x equals 2.2x. Compared to safe path, certain 1.2x outcome. Risky path, higher expected value. Accept if downside manageable. Better decision, better framework, better analysis, better outcome. Investment decision, portfolio allocation. Binary thinking, this investment good or bad? Seems good. Invest heavily. Probabilistic thinking, this investment 70% probability of 2x return, 30% probability of 50% loss. Expected value, 1.25x. Positive but modest. Position size 10% of portfolio. Manage risk. Diversify across multiple similar bets. Portfolio of positive expected value bets creates systematic success. Better decision, better framework, better analysis, better outcome. Common probabilistic errors destroy decisions. Destroy systematically. Destroy repeatedly. Destroy expensively. Error 1. Treating 70% probability as certainty. 70% means 30% chance of opposite. 30% happens regularly. Happens 3 times in 10. Not rare. Not shocking. Not impossible. Expected. Predicted. Probable. Treating 70% as certain creates surprise failures, poor risk management, inadequate preparation, systematic losses. Error 2. Ignoring low probability, high impact events. 5% probability seems low, seems negligible, seems ignorable, but 5% happens 1 in 20 times. Happens regularly over time. If impact is catastrophic, 5% demands preparation, demands insurance, Demands hedging. Demands respect. Ignoring low probability, high impact creates catastrophic failures, preventable disasters, ruinous losses, systematic vulnerability. Error 3. Failure to update beliefs with evidence. Initial probability was estimate, was prior, was starting point. New evidence emerges. New information arrives. New data appears. Must update probability. Must adjust belief. Must refine estimate. Must change assessment. Failure to update creates outdated beliefs, inaccurate probabilities, poor decisions, systematic errors, strategic disadvantage. Error 4. Confusing correlation with causation. Two things correlated doesn't mean one causes other. Correlation shows relationship. Causation shows cause-effect. Different concepts, different meanings, different implications. Ice cream sales correlate with drowning deaths. Both increase in summer, but ice cream doesn't cause drowning. Summer weather causes both. Correlation, not causation. Confusing them creates wrong explanations, poor predictions, bad decisions, systematic mistakes, strategic failures. Avoid these errors. Think probabilistically. Think accurately. Think rationally. Think strategically. Think masterfully. Will or won't are not your only options. Think probabilities. Think likelihoods. Think strategically. You understand now that probabilistic thinking reasons in likelihoods through probability estimation. You understand that chess demonstrates probabilistic reasoning through position evaluation and risk assessment. You understand that probabilistic reasoning requires 5 capabilities through systematic frameworks. Stop thinking in binary certainties only. Start thinking in probabilities and likelihoods systematically. Stop pretending to know outcomes with certainty. Start estimating probabilities and acknowledging uncertainty honestly. Stop ignoring base rates and statistical reality. Start using base rates and updating with evidence. Practice probabilistic thinking starting today. For one important decision, estimate base rate probability first. Gather specific evidence about this case. Update probability based on evidence using Bayesian reasoning. Consider alternative explanations for evidence. Calculate expected value mathematically. Acknowledge uncertainty explicitly with probability ranges. Track prediction accuracy to improve calibration. This thinking creates better decisions. This reasoning creates optimal outcomes. This framework creates strategic advantage. Your decisions await probabilistic thinking. Your outcomes await rational reasoning. Your advantage awaits probability mastery. Think probabilistically now. Reason in likelihoods. Master probability through systematic thinking starting today. You think probabilistically now. Next, you must understand systems. Chapter 8. Master systems thinking. Understand interconnections. Systems thinking is understanding how elements interconnect and influence each other. Understanding relationships. Understanding connections. Understanding interactions. Understanding dependencies. Understanding dynamics. Seeing feedback loops creating reinforcement or balance. Seeing circular causality, not linear. Seeing mutual influence, not one way. Seeing dynamic patterns, not static states. Seeing emergent properties, not simple sums. Recognizing unintended consequences rippling through system. Recognizing indirect effects. Recognizing delayed impacts. Recognizing counterintuitive outcomes. Recognizing systemic responses. Thinking holistically, not linearly. Thinking comprehensively, not narrowly. Thinking dynamically, not statically. Thinking systemically, not individually. Thinking interconnectedly, not independently. Most people think linearly. Think A causes B. Think B causes C. Think simple chains. Think direct causality. Think one-way influence. Think isolated elements. Think independent parts. Think static relationships. Never seeing feedback. Never seeing dynamics. Never seeing interconnections. Never seeing emergence. Never seeing systems. Strategic thinkers see differently, see systems, see interconnections, see feedback loops, see dynamics, see emergence. This system's vision creates understanding, creates prediction, creates leverage, creates optimal intervention, creates strategic advantage, creates systematic success, prevents unintended consequences, prevents counterproductive interventions, prevents system destruction, prevents cascade failures. Through systems thinking, through interconnection understanding, through dynamics recognition, through holistic vision, systems have fundamental elements, have essential components, have defining characteristics, have critical features, have universal patterns. Element 1, components, individual pieces, separate parts, distinct elements, specific constituents, particular members. These components are visible, are identifiable, are countable, are observable, are obvious. But components alone don't create system, don't create function, don't create behavior, don't create dynamics, don't create emergence. Components are necessary, are foundational, are essential, but insufficient. Need more, need relationships, need interconnections, need interactions, need dynamics. Example system, human body. Components include organs, cells, tissues, bones, muscles, nerves, blood vessels. All visible, all identifiable, all countable, all observable. But components alone don't create life, don't create health, don't create function, don't create consciousness, don't create emergence. Need interconnections, need relationships, need interactions, need dynamics. Element 2, interconnections. Relationships between pieces, connections between parts, interactions between elements, dependencies between constituents, influences between members. These interconnections are critical, are essential, are defining, are powerful, are transformative. Interconnections create function, create behavior, create dynamics, create properties, create emergence. Body interconnections include blood flows from heart through vessels to organs. Nerves transmit signals between brain and body. Hormones coordinate organ functions. Immune system protects all components. Digestive system feeds all cells. These interconnections create life, create health, create function, create behavior, create emergence. Without interconnections, components are just parts, just pieces, just elements, dead, disconnected, non-functional. With interconnections, components become system, become organism, become living, become functional, become emergent. Element 3, purpose, system function, system goal, system objective, system reason, system direction. Every system has purpose, has function, has objective, might be explicit or implicit, might be designed or emergent, might be conscious or unconscious, but always exists, always operates, always influences. Body purpose, maintain life, preserve health, enable function, support consciousness, facilitate reproduction. This purpose guides system, guides organization, guides function, guides adaptation, guides evolution. Understanding purpose is critical, is essential, is foundational, is strategic, is transformative. Misunderstanding purpose creates intervention failure, creates counterproductive action, creates system damage, creates unintended harm. Element 4, feedback loops, self-reinforcing or self-balancing, circular causality, mutual influence, dynamic interaction, ongoing adjustment. Feedback loops are critical, are powerful, are dynamic, are often invisible, are frequently misunderstood. Two types exist. Reinforcing loops amplify change, amplify growth, amplify decline, amplify whatever direction, amplify exponentially, like compound interest, like viral growth, like death spirals, like vicious cycles, like virtuous cycles. Balancing loops stabilize, stabilize system, stabilize temperature, stabilize population, stabilize equilibrium, stabilize state, like thermostat, like homeostasis, like market forces, like negative feedback, like self-correction. Body feedback loops include temperature regulation balancing loop, blood sugar regulation balancing loop, immune response balancing loop, initially, then reinforcing. Exercise creates reinforcing fitness loop. Stress creates reinforcing damage loop. These loops create dynamics, create stability or instability, create health or disease, create balance or imbalance, create function or dysfunction. Understanding feedback loops enables effective intervention, leverage identification, system optimization, disaster prevention, strategic success. Element 5. Delays. Time between cause and effect. Time between action and result. Time between intervention and outcome. Time between input and output. Time between decision and consequence. Delays are universal, are inevitable, are critical, are often invisible, are frequently underestimated. Delays create problems, create oscillation, create overshoot, create instability, create poor decisions. Example, shower temperature. Turn hot water on. Water still cold. Turn hotter. Still cold because delay. Turn much hotter. Suddenly scalding. Overshoot from delay. Oscillate between too cold and too hot. Never stable. Delay cause problem. Example, weight loss. Diet and exercise today. Weight unchanged tomorrow. Unchanged next week. Unchanged for month. Delay between effort and result. Most people quit. Give up before seeing result. Delay caused failure. System delays create intervention timing errors, overshoot and undershoot, oscillation and instability, premature abandonment, systematic failure. Understanding delays enables patient intervention, appropriate timing, overshoot avoidance, persistent execution, systematic success. Element 6. Leverage points. Where small changes create large effects. Where minimal intervention creates maximum impact. Where strategic action creates systemic transformation. Where precise targeting creates efficient change. Where wise intervention creates optimal outcome. Leverage points are powerful, are efficient, are strategic, are often non-obvious, are frequently counterintuitive. High leverage points include system purpose, feedback loop structure, information flows, system rules, self-organization capacity. Low leverage points include numbers and parameters, buffer sizes, physical infrastructure, individual behaviors. Most people intervene at low leverage points. Change parameters, add resources, build infrastructure, modify behaviors. These interventions are obvious, intuitive, comfortable, visible, ineffective. Create minimal impact. Create temporary change. Create no transformation. Strategic thinkers intervene at high leverage points. Change system purpose. Modify feedback structure. Improve information flow. Alter system rules. Enable self-organization. These interventions are non-obvious, counterintuitive, uncomfortable, invisible, highly effective. Create maximum impact. Create lasting change. Create systemic transformation. Understanding leverage points enables efficient intervention, maximum impact, systemic transformation, strategic advantage, optimal outcomes. Linear thinking misses dynamics. Systems thinking sees interconnections. Think systemically or remain confused. Chess demonstrates systems thinking powerfully. Demonstrates interconnections. Demonstrates dynamics. Demonstrates feedback. Demonstrates emergence. Demonstrates leverage. Piece coordination is systemic. Pieces support each other. Pieces protect each other. Pieces enable each other. Pieces amplify each other. Combined strength greater than individual pieces. Emergence through interaction. Synergy through coordination. Power through system. Example, rook and queen coordinate. Rook controls file. Queen controls diagonal. Together control critical squares. Create mating attack. Create combined threat. Create systematic pressure. Individual piece is limited. Combined piece is powerful. System creates emergence. Space control is systemic. Controlling squares limits opponent options. Limited options reduce piece mobility. Reduced mobility weakens position. Weak position creates vulnerabilities. Vulnerabilities create tactical opportunities. Systematic cascade. Systemic effect. Interconnected consequences. Feedback amplifying. Pawn structure is systemic. Pawn configuration determines piece mobility. Piece mobility affects king's safety. King's safety influences tactical possibilities. Tactical possibilities shape strategic plans. Strategic plans guide decisions. Systematic influence. Cascading effects. Interconnected dynamics. Changes ripple through position. All chess thinking is systems thinking. Is interconnection understanding? Is dynamics recognition? Is feedback awareness? Is emergence appreciation? Master C systems. C interconnections. C dynamics. C feedback. C emergence. This seeing creates positional understanding, strategic planning, tactical recognition, optimal decisions, systematic victory. Real-world systems thinking demonstrates transferability, demonstrates necessity, demonstrates power, demonstrates results. Organizational system demonstrates interconnections clearly. Culture influences behavior. Behavior creates results. Results influence culture. Feedback loop. Reinforcing dynamics. Systemic pattern. Positive culture creates motivated behavior, excellent results, reinforced culture, virtuous cycle, systematic success. Negative culture creates demotivated behavior, poor results, reinforced negativity, vicious cycle, systematic failure. Intervening at behavior level is low leverage. Training programs, performance reviews, individual coaching, temporary impact, minimal change, culture unchanged. Intervening at culture level is high leverage. Values clarification, leadership modeling, system redesign, permanent impact, systemic change, behavior transformed. Systems thinking identifies high leverage intervention, identifies culture change, identifies system redesign, identifies transformation pathway. Health system demonstrates feedback loops clearly. Sleep affects energy. Energy affects exercise. Exercise affects sleep. Reinforcing loop. Virtuous or vicious. Good sleep creates high energy, regular exercise, better sleep, reinforcing health, systematic well-being. Poor sleep creates low energy, skipped exercise, worse sleep, reinforcing decline, systematic illness. Intervening at exercise level is low leverage. Force exercise when exhausted. Unsustainable. Temporary. Fails quickly. Intervening at sleep level is high leverage. Improves sleep quality. Energy improves. Exercise becomes natural. Loop reinforces positively. Systematic health. Systems thinking identifies high leverage intervention. Identifies sleep improvement. Identifies loop reversal. Identifies health transformation. Financial system demonstrates delays clearly. Spending affects savings. Savings affect investment. Investment affects income. Income affects spending. System with delays. Cause-effect separation. Action-result gap. Overspending today creates reduced savings, limited investment, lower income, financial stress. But effects delayed. Delayed months. Delayed years. Delayed decades. Delay masks consequences. Delay enables poor decisions. Delay creates crisis. Understanding delays enables patient saving, consistent investing, delayed gratification, long-term thinking, systematic wealth. Systems thinking recognizes delays, plans accordingly, persists appropriately, achieves systematically. Systems thinking framework enables comprehensive analysis, enables effective intervention, enables optimal outcomes, enables strategic success. 5-step framework. Step 1. Identify system elements. List all components. List all parts. List all pieces. List comprehensively. Organization system. People, teams, departments, processes, tools, culture, structure, strategy. Health system. Sleep, nutrition, exercise, stress, relationships, purpose, habits, environment. Financial system. Income, expenses, savings, investments, assets, liabilities, goals, behaviors. Complete identification. Comprehensive listing. Full enumeration. Step 2. Map relationships between elements. How do elements influence each other? What affects what? What depends on what? What enables what? What constrains what? Draw connections. Map relationships. Identify interactions. Organization. Culture influences behavior. Behavior creates results. Results affect culture. Strategy guides decisions. Structure enables execution. Health. Sleep affects energy. Energy enables exercise. Exercise improves sleep. Stress damages sleep. Relationships affect stress. Financial. Income enables saving. Saving enables investing. Investing creates income. Expenses reduce saving. Habits determine expenses. Map completely. Map honestly. Map comprehensively. Step 3. Identify feedback loops. Which relationships create loops? Which create reinforcement? Which create balance? Which create dynamics? Which create instability? Mark loops. Label reinforcing or balancing. Understand dynamics. Organization reinforcing. Positive culture creates motivated behavior, creates excellent results, reinforces positive culture. Balancing. Poor performance triggers intervention, restores acceptable performance. Health reinforcing. Good sleep creates high energy, creates regular exercise, improves sleep. Balancing. Weight gain triggers diet, reduces weight to target. Financial reinforcing. Income creates savings, creates investment, creates more income. Balancing. Overspending depletes reserves, triggers spending, cuts, restores reserves. Identify all loops. Understand all dynamics. Recognize all feedback. Step 4. Recognize delays between elements. Where are delays? How long are delays? What are consequences? What problems do delays create? What oscillations do delays cause? Mark delays. Estimate duration. Understand consequences. Exercise fitness delay. 3 months. Cause today. Effect in 3 months. Quit before seeing results. Investment wealth delay. Decades. Invest today. Wealth in 30 years. Spend instead of invest. Career outcome delay. Years. Actions today. Results in 5 years. Choose short-term over long-term. Recognize delays. Plan accordingly. Persist appropriately. Step 5. Find leverage points. Where can small changes create large effects? Where can strategic intervention create systemic transformation? Where is maximum impact possible? Where is efficient change achievable? Identify high leverage points. Organization high leverage. Culture change. Leadership development. System redesign. Low leverage. Individual training. Parameter adjustment. Resource addition. Health high leverage. Sleep optimization. Stress management. Habit formation. Low leverage. Individual workout. Single meal. One-time effort. Financial high leverage. Savings rate, investment strategy, spending habits. Low leverage, one-time saving, single investment, occasional frugality. Intervene at high leverage points. Create maximum impact. Achieve systemic transformation. Generate optimal outcomes. Produce strategic success. Common systems errors destroy value. Destroy systematically. Destroy repeatedly. Destroy expensively. Error 1. Intervening without understanding system. Acting before analyzing. Doing before understanding. Changing before mapping. Intervening before comprehending creates unintended consequences, creates counterproductive results, creates system damage, creates worse problems. Error 2. Solving symptoms, not root causes. Treating surface problems. Addressing obvious issues. Fixing visible symptoms. Ignoring underlying causes. Ignoring system structure. Ignoring feedback loops. Ignoring leverage points. Creates temporary relief. Creates recurring problems. Creates growing crises. Creates systematic failure. Error 3. Creating solutions that worsen problems long-term. Short-term fix. Long-term damage. Immediate relief. Eventual disaster. Treating symptom. Strengthening cause. Example. Firefighting mode creates short-term crisis resolution, long-term process neglect, worsening underlying problems, more frequent crises, permanent firefighting. Vicious cycle. Reinforcing loop. Systemic trap. Error 4. Ignoring feedback loops and delays. Linear thinking in dynamic system. One-way causality in circular system. Instant expectation with delayed effects. Creates oscillation. Creates overshoot. Creates instability. Creates systematic failure. Avoid these errors. Think systemically. Understand interconnections. Recognize dynamics. Identify leverage. Intervene wisely. Linear thinking misses dynamics. Systems thinking sees interconnections. Think systemically or remain confused. You understand now that systems thinking sees interconnections through holistic vision. You understand that systems have 6 essential elements through fundamental components. You understand that 5-step framework enables systematic analysis through structure process. Stop thinking linearly about isolated causes only. Start thinking systemically about interconnections comprehensively. Stop intervening without understanding system dynamics. Start mapping system before intervening deliberately. Stop solving symptoms while ignoring root causes. Start identifying leverage points and intervening strategically. Practice systems thinking starting today. Choose one important system in your life currently. Identify all system components completely. Map relationships between all elements thoroughly. Identify all feedback loops, reinforcing or balancing. Recognize all delays between causes and effects. Find high-leverage intervention points strategically. Intervene at leverage points for maximum impact. This thinking creates understanding. This mapping creates clarity. This intervention creates transformation. Your understanding awaits systems thinking. Your clarity awaits system mapping. Your transformation awaits leverage intervention. Think systemically now. Map interconnections completely. Intervene strategically through systems thinking starting today. You master systems now. Next, you must practice daily. Chapter 9. Practice strategic thinking daily. Build the mental muscle. Strategic intelligence develops through daily practice, through consistent training, through systematic execution, through deliberate application, through permanent commitment, not through one-time learning, not through occasional effort, not through sporadic practice, not through intermittent application, not through temporary commitment. Daily practice, daily training, daily execution, daily application, daily dedication. Like physical muscle requires daily exercise. Like musical skill requires daily practice. Like athletic ability requires daily training. Strategic intelligence requires daily practice, daily training, daily execution, daily application, daily commitment. Cannot read about strategic thinking and achieve mastery. Cannot understand principles and gain capability. Cannot learn frameworks and develop intelligence. Must practice, must train, must execute, must apply, must dedicate, daily, consistently, systematically, permanently, endlessly. This daily practice builds neural pathways, builds pattern recognition, builds consequence prediction, builds scenario thinking, builds probabilistic reasoning, builds systems understanding, builds strategic intelligence, builds mental muscle, builds cognitive capability, builds thinking mastery through daily practice, through consistent training, through systematic execution, through permanent commitment. 5 daily strategic practices, 5 essential exercises, 5 mandatory commitments, 5 non-negotiable habits, 5 permanent dedications. Every day, every single day, without exception, without excuse, without skip, without break, without vacation, without pause, without cessation, without end. Practice 1. Pattern journaling. 5 minutes daily. Identify one pattern observed today, one repeating structure, one recurring cycle, one similar situation, one familiar dynamic. In news, in work, in relationships, in markets, in politics, in life, anywhere, everywhere. Daily pattern observation, daily pattern identification, daily pattern naming, daily pattern recording, daily pattern building. Write pattern down. Journal specifically. What pattern did you observe? Where did you see it? What elements repeated? What structure recurred? What similar pattern have you seen before? What does this pattern predict? What does this pattern teach? This daily journaling builds pattern library, builds pattern recognition, builds pattern prediction, builds pattern mastery. Over days, over weeks, over months, over years, accumulating thousands of patterns, thousands of observations, thousands of structures, thousands of predictions, thousands of insights. This library becomes strategic asset, becomes predictive power, becomes competitive advantage, becomes systematic success. Practice 2. Consequence mapping. 10 minutes daily. Choose one decision made today, one choice taken, one action executed, one path chosen. Map its consequences. Map systematically. Map completely. Map honestly. Map deeply. Map transformatively. First-order consequences. What happens immediately? What direct effects? What obvious results? Second-order consequences. And then what? What reactions follow? What adjustments occur? Third-order consequences. And then what after that? What cascades emerge? What ripples spread? Fourth-order consequences. And then what next? How does system adjust? How does equilibrium shift? Fifth-order consequences. What is final state? What is ultimate outcome? What is permanent impact? Map all 5 levels. Write them down. Document completely. Review honestly. This daily mapping builds consequence prediction, builds cascade vision, builds downstream thinking, builds long-term focus, builds strategic intelligence. Over time, over practice, over commitment, builds automatic consequence thinking, builds natural cascade vision, builds integrated strategic intelligence. Practice 3. Scenario development. 10 minutes weekly. Choose one upcoming important decision, one significant choice, one strategic move, one major commitment. Develop 3 scenarios. Develop systematically. Develop comprehensively. Develop plausibly. Develop preparedly. Optimistic scenario. Best reasonable outcome. What if things go well? What if execution succeeds? What if luck favors? Describe vividly. Realistic scenario. Most likely outcome. What if things go normally? What if execution adequate? What if luck neutral? Describe specifically. Pessimistic scenario. Worst reasonable outcome. What if things go poorly? What if execution struggles? What if luck opposes? Describe honestly. For each scenario, develop strategy, identify early signals, prepare responses. This weekly practice builds scenario thinking, builds future preparation, builds adaptive flexibility, builds strategic resilience, builds outcome readiness. Over weeks, over months, over years, builds automatic scenario development, builds natural future planning, builds integrated strategic preparation. Practice 4. Probability calibration. 5 minutes daily. Estimate likelihood of events. Estimate honestly. Estimate specifically. Estimate measurably. Estimate trackably. Make predictions. 70% confident this meeting productive. 60% chance project finishes on time. 80% probability this person responds positively. 40% chance this investment succeeds. Estimate percentages. Write predictions down. Track outcomes. Measure accuracy. After event occurs, record actual outcome. Compare prediction to reality. Calculate calibration. When you said 70% confident, were you right 70% of time? When you said 60% chance, did it happen 60% of time? Track systematically. Track honestly. Track completely. Over days. Over weeks. Over months. Hundreds of predictions. Hundreds of outcomes. Hundreds of calibrations. This tracking improves probability estimation, improves confidence calibration, improves prediction accuracy, improves decision quality, improves strategic intelligence. From overconfident to calibrated. From poorly calibrated to accurately calibrated. From wishful thinking to realistic thinking. From biased prediction to accurate prediction. Through practice. Through tracking. Through feedback. Through adjustment. Through mastery. Practice 5. Systems diagramming. 10 minutes weekly. Choose one system you're part of. One organizational system. One relationship system. One health system. One financial system. One team system. Map the system. Diagram systematically. Diagram comprehensively. Diagram visually. Diagram clearly. Identify all components. List all elements. Enumerate all parts. Map all relationships. Draw all connections. Show all influences. Identify all feedback loops. Mark reinforcing loops. Mark balancing loops. Show loop dynamics. Recognize all delays. Indicate time lags. Show delay effects. Find all leverage points. Identify high leverage interventions. Mark strategic opportunities. This weekly diagramming builds systems thinking, builds interconnection recognition, builds dynamics understanding, builds leverage identification, builds strategic intervention. Over weeks, over months, over years, builds automatic systems vision, builds natural interconnection seeing, builds integrated systemic understanding. Strategic thinking requires practice. Daily exercises build intelligence. Practice daily or remain tactical. Chess study develops strategic thinking transferably, develops powerfully, develops measurably, develops teachably, develops applicably. Studying grandmaster games builds intelligence, builds pattern recognition, builds strategic understanding, builds long-term thinking, builds systematic analysis. Study protocol systematic. Select one grandmaster game weekly. Play through games slowly. Move by move. Position by position. Observe strategic patterns. Identify long-term plans. See consequence cascades. Notice multi-move sequences. Recognize positional understanding. Ask strategic questions. What is Grandmaster's plan? What position does Grandmaster want? What sequence achieves position? What will opponent likely respond? Or alternative plans? What patterns appear? This study transfers. Transfers to business decisions. Transfers to career planning. Transfers to relationship strategy. Transfers to life choices. Same cognitive patterns. Same strategic thinking. Same long-term planning. Same consequence prediction. Same scenario consideration. Chess patterns transfer to life patterns. Chess planning transfers to life planning. Chess strategy transfers to life strategy. Solving tactical puzzles builds intelligence, builds sequence thinking, builds calculation ability, builds consequence prediction, builds pattern recognition. Puzzle protocol systematic. Solve 3 tactical puzzles daily. 5 minutes total. Calculate sequences carefully. Predict opponent responses. Evaluate resulting positions. Find optimal continuation. This solving builds calculation accuracy, sequence planning, consequence prediction, pattern recognition, optimal decision-making. Transfers to real-world decisions. Transfers to business problems. transfers to career choices, transfers to strategic planning. Same cognitive capability, same mental muscle, same thinking skill. Analyzing own games builds intelligence, builds self-awareness, builds mistake recognition, builds pattern identification, builds improvement capacity. Analysis protocol, systematic. Review one game weekly. Identify mistakes made. Recognize patterns missed. Understand consequences ignored. Learn from errors. This analysis builds honest self-assessment, pattern recognition improvement, consequence prediction enhancement, decision-making optimization, strategic intelligence development. Transfers to life decisions. Transfers to business analysis. Transfers to career reflection. Transfers to relationship learning. Same self-improvement process. Same error recognition. Same pattern learning. Same strategic development. Playing slow games builds intelligence, builds deep thinking, builds thorough analysis, builds strategic planning, builds disciplined execution. Slow game protocol. Play one game weekly, minimum 30 minutes per side. Think deeply each move. Calculate sequences thoroughly. Evaluate positions completely. Plan strategically systematically. This slow playing builds deep thinking habit, thorough analysis discipline, strategic planning capability, patient execution, long-term focus. Transfers to life decisions. Transfers to business strategy. Transfers to career planning. Transfers to important choices. Same deep thinking. Same thorough analysis. Same strategic planning. Same patient execution. Same long-term focus. These chess practices develop transferable intelligence, develop strategic capability, develop cognitive skill, develop mental muscle, develop thinking mastery, transfer to all domains, transfer to all decisions, transfer to all planning, transfer to all strategy, transfer to all success. Real-world practice applications demonstrate transferability, demonstrate power, demonstrate results, demonstrate success. Business decisions benefit from strategic practices. Pattern recognition identifies market trends, identifies competitive dynamics, identifies customer behaviors, identifies economic cycles. Early recognition enables strategic positioning, enables competitive advantage, enables optimal timing, enables systematic success. Consequence prediction forecasts competitive responses, forecasts market evolution, forecasts technology impacts, forecasts regulatory changes. Accurate prediction enables preparation, enables strategy development, enables risk management, enables optimal decisions. Scenario planning prepares for uncertainties, prepares for multiple futures, prepares for various outcomes, prepares for different paths. Comprehensive preparation enables resilience, enables flexibility, enables adaptation, enables systematic success. Relationship decisions benefit from strategic practices. Pattern recognition identifies recurring dynamics, identifies communication patterns, identifies conflict cycles, identifies compatibility indicators. Early recognition enables intervention, enables pattern breaking, enables relationship improvement, enables systematic success. Consequence prediction sees relationship trajectories, sees compatibility outcomes, sees long-term patterns, sees ultimate results. Accurate prediction enables wise decisions, enables timely action, enables relationship optimization, enables systematic happiness. Probabilistic thinking manages uncertainty, manages compatibility probability, manages success likelihood, manages outcome ranges. Realistic thinking enables appropriate commitment, enables calibrated expectations, enables optimal decisions, enables systematic satisfaction. Career decisions benefit from strategic practices. Sequence thinking plans career moves, plans skill development, plans position progression, plans strategic advancement. Systematic planning enables coordinated growth, enables deliberate development, enables inevitable success, enables career mastery. Systems thinking understands organizational dynamics, understands political realities, understands cultural forces, understands power structures. Deep understanding enables effective navigation, enables strategic positioning, enables optimal advancement, enables systematic success. Scenario planning prepares for industry changes, prepares for company shifts, prepares for role evolution, prepares for market disruption. Comprehensive preparation enables career resilience, enables adaptive flexibility, enables strategic pivoting, enables systematic success. Strategic thinking requires practice. Daily exercises build intelligence. Practice daily or remain tactical. You understand now that strategic intelligence requires daily practice through systematic exercises. You understand that 5 daily practices build capability through consistent execution. You understand that chess study develops transferable intelligence through cognitive patterns. Stop practicing occasionally and inconsistently. Start practicing daily and systematically. Stop believing understanding equals capability. Start recognizing practice creates mastery. Stop remaining limited by current thinking. Start building strategic intelligence deliberately. Implement 5 daily practices starting tomorrow. Pattern journaling 5 minutes daily, identifying 1 pattern observed. Consequence mapping 10 minutes daily for 1 decision made. Probability calibration 5 minutes daily, estimating and tracking predictions. Weekly scenario development 10 minutes for 1 important decision. Weekly systems diagramming 10 minutes for 1 system. Consider chess study for transferable development. Study 1 Grandmaster game weekly. Solve 3 tactical puzzles daily. Analyze 1 own game weekly. Play 1 slow game weekly. These practices build intelligence, build pattern recognition, build consequence prediction, build scenario thinking, build probabilistic reasoning, build systems understanding, build strategic mastery. Your intelligence awaits daily practice. Your capability awaits systematic training. Your mastery awaits permanent commitment. Practice daily now. Build systematically. Master strategically through daily practice starting tomorrow. You practice daily now. Finally, you must understand permanence. Chapter 10. Strategic intelligence is permanent practice. Mastery requires daily development. Strategic intelligence is not destination, not achievement, not completion, not finish line, not final state, not permanent possession, not static capability, not fixed ability, is ongoing practice, is continuous training, is permanent commitment, is endless dedication, is lifetime journey, is daily work, is forever process, is constant development. Temporary practice creates temporary intelligence. Temporary training creates temporary capability. Temporary commitment creates temporary thinking. Temporary dedication creates temporary mastery. Stop practicing, intelligence degrades. Stop training, capability deteriorates. Stop committing, thinking regresses. Stop dedicating, mastery disappears. Automatic, guaranteed, inevitable, mechanical, rapid, devastating, complete, permanent unless reversed. Like physical fitness, like musical skill, like athletic ability, like language fluency, like any developed capacity. Stop exercising, fitness disappears. Stop practicing, skill deteriorates. Stop training, ability declines. Stop using, fluency fades. Stop maintaining, capacity collapses. Neural pathways strengthen with use, weaken with disuse. Pattern recognition strengthens with practice, weakens with neglect. Strategic thinking strengthens with application, weakens with abandonment. Intelligence strengthens with commitment, weakens with cessation. This is neuroscience. This is biology. This is psychology. This is reality. This is truth. Must practice permanently. Must train continuously. Must commit endlessly. Must dedicate eternally. Must maintain forever. Consider degradation mechanism specifically. Consider intelligence loss. Consider capability collapse. Consider thinking regression. Consider mastery disappearance. You practice strategic intelligence diligently for 6 months. Practice pattern recognition consistently. Practice consequence prediction regularly. Practice scenario planning systematically. Practice probabilistic reasoning daily. Practice systems thinking deliberately. Build significant capability. Build substantial intelligence. Build strong thinking. Build real mastery. Build genuine advantage. Results are evident. Results are impressive. Results are transformative. Decisions that once seemed random now reveal patterns. Choices that once surprised you now follow predictable consequences. Problems that once seemed chaotic now show system dynamics. Futures that once seemed uncertain now appear in scenarios. Outcomes that once seemed binary now express as probabilities. You think strategically. Think systematically. Think long-term. Think comprehensively. Think masterfully. Feel powerful. Feel intelligent. Feel capable. Feel masterful. Feel successful. Then you stop practicing. Stop recognizing patterns. Stop predicting consequences. Stop planning scenarios. Stop reasoning probabilistically. Stop thinking systemically. Week 1. Noticeable decline. Pattern recognition, less automatic. Consequence prediction, less natural. Scenario thinking, less accessible. Probabilistic reasoning, more effortful. Systems vision, less clear. Week 2. Significant regression. Patterns become invisible. Consequences surprise again. Scenarios seem unnecessary. Probabilities feel uncertain. Systems appear linear. Week 4. Major deterioration. Pattern library fades. Consequence chains break. Scenario planning abandoned. Probabilistic thinking disappears. Systems understanding collapses. Week 8. Substantial return toward baseline. Think short-term like before. Think reactively like before. Think linearly like before. Think binary like before. Think tactically like before. All gains lost. All progress reversed. All intelligence degraded. All capability disappeared. All mastery abandoned. Back to beginning. Back to short-term thinking. Back to reactive decisions. Back to linear causality. Back to binary choices. Back to tactical focus. Through stopping practice. Through abandoning commitment. Through ceasing dedication. Through ending maintenance. Through quitting training. The degradation is automatic, is guaranteed, is inevitable, is mechanical, is devastating, cannot stop practicing, cannot abandon commitment, cannot cease dedication, cannot end maintenance, cannot quit training, must continue forever, must practice permanently, must commit endlessly, must dedicate eternally, must maintain continuously. Daily non-negotiables: maintain intelligence, maintain capability, maintain thinking, maintain mastery, maintain advantage. 5 daily practices, 5 permanent commitments, 5 eternal dedications, 5 endless requirements, 5 mandatory habits. Forever, permanently, continuously, endlessly, eternally. Practice 1. Pattern recognition daily. Every day, observe one pattern. Every day, identify one structure. Every day, recognize one cycle. Every day, see one repetition. Every day, note one similarity. In news, in work, in relationships, in markets, in life, anywhere, everywhere, every single day. Journal pattern. Write it down. Document specifically. Record permanently. Build pattern library. Build continuously. Build permanently. Build endlessly. This daily recognition maintains pattern vision, maintains pattern capability, maintains pattern intelligence, maintains pattern mastery. Skip one day, vision weakens. Skip 1 week, capability fades. Skip 1 month, intelligence disappears. Must practice daily. Must recognize constantly. Must journal consistently. Must maintain permanently. Must commit forever. Practice 2. Consequence prediction daily. Every significant decision made. Every important choice taken. Every strategic move executed. Map consequences. Map first-order effects. Map second-order reactions. Map third-order cascades. Map fourth-order adjustments. Map fifth-order equilibria. Every time, every decision, every day. This daily mapping maintains consequence vision, maintains cascade prediction, maintains downstream thinking, maintains long-term focus, maintains strategic intelligence. Skip one day, vision weakens. Skip 1 week, prediction fails. Skip 1 month, short-term thinking returns. Must practice daily. Must map constantly. Must predict consistently. Must maintain permanently. Must commit forever. Practice 3. Probability estimation daily. Every uncertain event. Every unclear outcome. Every ambiguous situation. Estimate probability. Estimate specifically. Estimate measurably. Estimate honestly. 60% confident this succeeds. 70% chance this happens. 40% probability this outcome. Write down. Track results. Measure accuracy. Calibrate continuously. This daily estimation maintains probabilistic thinking, maintains calibrated confidence, maintains realistic expectations, maintains accurate predictions, maintains rational decisions. Skip 1 day, calibration drifts. Skip 1 week, confidence distorts. Skip 1 month, binary thinking returns. Must practice daily. Must estimate constantly. Must track consistently. Must calibrate permanently. Must commit forever. Practice 4. Scenario thinking weekly. Every important upcoming decision. Every significant future choice. Every strategic pending move. Develop 3 scenarios. Optimistic scenario. Realistic scenario. Pessimistic scenario. For each scenario, describe outcome. Develop strategy. Identify signals. Prepare response. Every week. Every important decision. Consistently. Permanently. Endlessly. This weekly thinking maintains scenario planning. Maintains future preparation. Maintains adaptive flexibility. Maintains strategic resilience. Maintains outcome readiness. Skip 1 week, rigidity increases. Skip 1 month, single scenario, thinking returns. Skip 3 months, surprise vulnerability returns. Must practice weekly. Must develop constantly. Must plan consistently. Must maintain permanently. Must commit forever. Practice 5. Systems analysis weekly. Every system you're part of. Organizational systems. Relationship systems. Health systems. Financial systems. Team systems. Map system. Identify components. Map relationships. Identify feedback loops. Recognize delays. Find leverage points. Every week. Different system. Consistently. Permanently. Endlessly. This weekly analysis maintains systems thinking, maintains interconnection vision, maintains dynamics understanding, maintains leverage identification, maintains strategic intervention. Skip 1 week, linear thinking creeps. Skip 1 month, systems blindness returns. Skip 3 months, isolated thinking dominates. Must practice weekly. Must map constantly. Must analyze consistently. Must maintain permanently. Must commit forever. 5 practices, daily and weekly. Forever. Pattern recognition daily. Consequence prediction daily. Probability estimation daily. Scenario thinking weekly. Systems analysis weekly. No exceptions. No excuses. No skips. No breaks. No vacations. No pauses. No cessations. No endings. Daily. Weekly. Consistently. Permanently. Endlessly. Eternally. This is price of permanent intelligence. This is cost of sustained capability. This is requirement of maintained thinking. This is demand of preserved mastery. This is necessity of continued advantage. Fair price, reasonable cost, worthy requirement, valuable demand, essential necessity, for intelligence, for capability, for thinking, for mastery, for advantage, for decisions, for success, for achievement, for power, for life. Pay price daily. Maintain intelligence permanently. Skip payment. Lose intelligence immediately. The exchange is fair. The requirement is clear. The choice is yours. The decision is critical. The commitment is permanent. Choose intelligence through permanent practice. Choose capability through daily maintenance. Choose thinking through endless dedication. Choose mastery through continuous commitment. Choose advantage through eternal training. Or choose tactical thinking through practice abandonment. Choose short-term focus through commitment cessation. Choose reactive decisions through dedication ending. Choose limited capability through maintenance stopping. Choose strategic blindness through training quitting. Your choice, your decision, your commitment, your intelligence, your future. After months of daily practice, transformation occurs. Occurs profoundly. Occurs completely. Occurs permanently. Occurs magnificently. Occurs mysteriously. Transformation from practicing strategic thinking to being strategic thinker. From consciously recognizing patterns to automatically seeing patterns. From deliberately predicting consequences to naturally forecasting cascades. From forcing scenario thinking to spontaneously considering futures. From calculating probabilities to intuitively reasoning likelihoods. From mapping systems to inherently seeing interconnections. Practice shaped being. Repetition formed identity. Consistency created essence. Permanence established nature. Dedication transformed character. Commitment evolved self. Daily work built person. Being now dominates. Being now determines. Being now controls. Being now operates. Being now functions. Being now manifests. Being now exists. Being now is. You are not trying to think strategically. You think strategically, not attempting pattern recognition. You see patterns automatically, not forcing consequence prediction. You predict cascades naturally, not practicing scenario thinking. You consider futures spontaneously, not calculating probabilities. You reason probabilistically intuitively, not mapping systems. You see interconnections inherently. The intelligence is you. The capability is you. The thinking is you. The mastery is you. The strategic vision is you. Automatic, natural, effortless, integrated, essential, fundamental, permanent, irreversible. You have learned 10 principles for strategic intelligence. You think short-term, recognize strategic blindness. Understand strategic intelligence, the chess master mindset. Recognize patterns everywhere. See what others miss. Think in sequences, plan multi-step moves. Predict consequences, see downstream effects. Develop scenario planning. Prepare for multiple futures. Think probabilistically. Reason in likelihoods, not certainties. Master systems thinking. Understand interconnections. Practice strategic thinking daily. Build the mental muscle. Strategic intelligence is permanent practice. Mastery requires daily development. What matters now is action. Today, implementation begins now. Identify one short-term decision you made recently and map its long-term consequences. Find one pattern in your life repeating and name it. Plan one decision as 3-move sequence. Develop 3 scenarios for one upcoming choice. Estimate probabilities for one uncertain outcome. Daily practices starting today. Morning decision preview, identifying strategic choices. Pattern observation throughout day. Consequence thinking for decisions. Evening reflection, improving thinking. Weekly scenario planning for important decisions. This builds strategic intelligence, builds pattern recognition, builds consequence prediction, builds scenario thinking, builds probabilistic reasoning. Builds systems understanding. Stop thinking one move ahead. Start thinking 10 moves ahead. Stop reacting to today. Start planning for decades. Strategic mind. Strategic decisions. Strategic life. Strategic success. Strategic mastery. Beginning now. Practicing daily. Thinking strategically forever.